All right, all right. Are we good? Yeah, we seem to be good. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets, Comicsgate, Comicsgate Live. I've kind of given the link out to Comicsgate in case they want to be here today. Let me just flip this over here. All right. Let me see. Does that sound better? That does sound better. Yeah. All right. Good. How's everybody doing? Let me check and see the chat. See if anybody is watching. See how you guys feel about things. Hello. EDVS. The Pie Man cometh. Uh, let's see. If Cyberfrog was attacked with atrazine, would he turn gay? These are the questions. I'm not a conspiracy theorist personally. I think Alex Jones is fun to listen to, but I'm not quite sure that atrazine is turning the frogs gay. I'd need to see the science on that. I'm a man of science. I'm looking for the hard science on everything. Uh, hello. Happy Sunday. Yeah, I just felt like doing a stream. I'm taking a break from doing Cyberfrog. Getting some stuff done, and I don't know. I was just kind of overcome. Did I draw that? That looks weird. Did I draw that? All right, so I got a couple of comic books. Yeah, I did draw that. This is the Walmart. this is the Walmart 100-page DC Superman special here. 100-page giant. And I was just looking. It's so funny when you don't recognize your own art. Like you look up here and you go, wait a second. Is that going to focus or no? Might not focus. There it goes. That Batman. I'm like, that looks like my art, but I don't remember drawing that. That kind of looks like something I did. And it turns out it is. That is something that I drew. And then, of course, there's a Green Lantern that I drew. This contains, I don't know, a Green Lantern issue. I got a bunch of these. I haven't looked through any of them, but this contains like reprint material from when DC Comics was running. I don't know, man. Good stuff in here. It's got Michael Turner's Supergirl, like Superman, Batman, Supergirl stuff, which is totally awesome. So this is pretty cool. And then on the back, of course, an ad for what's going to turn out to be the greatest superhero movie of all time, or at least the greatest Captain Marvel movie of all time. And I think that's what we can hope for. So there's this. If you go to Walmart, you can pick up a copy of this. Also, I got metal trade paperback here. That came out. I'm getting comps. Deeply annoyed that my name is not on the front. Let me see if we can get that to focus. I don't know what's going on with this camera, and it just takes a long time to. It's focused on the background. It's like if I fill the whole screen, then it does it. Does it start to focus or no? I'm not quite sure, but I'm not on there. I'm not on the front. I'm on the back. They put my name on the back cover, and I got mad about this. And Andrea looked at it, and she's like, yeah, but who did she say they didn't put on there? Oh, they didn't put Tyler Kirkham on the front either. Two Mormons. It must be a conspiracy. But I did look at this. I opened this up again and went, damn, I'm a cold ass honky. That's pretty great. I never look at my own work after it's out there, but I'm like, yeah, that's pretty that's pretty dope. I gotta say, I'm in love with me. I do good stuff. So yeah, this is the metal trade paperback. I guess it's going to be a little bit cheaper than the hardcover. Hardcover already came out. They are milking this for all it's worth because it is. I mean, everybody liked it. Everybody had a good time with this. So there's the trade paperback that's out as well. The reason why I wanted to do a live stream was, again, I sat down and I watched Clownfish TV's video about how Marvel Comics is probably going to go bye-bye. And I was so moved by it because Clownfish TV was basically echoing a lot of what I was saying, a lot of what Zach was saying, a lot of common sense stuff that oh, it's so weird. Like I watched it and I came away from it and I went upstairs and I had to talk to Andrea. And I was just like, everything that like we're saying is true. I started looking at other articles that I hadn't been aware of as well. I mean, retailers are talking about this. And the more you look at the behavior of anti-Comicsgate, people like Joe Quesada, and some of my peers, It is it starts to snap into focus. Joe Quesada and CB Cebulski are going to South by Southwest. If they're not there already, I don't know if it's this weekend. I don't know when South by Southwest is, but you know they're going there to persuade, to give a persuasive oration about why comic books are still necessary in a world that's taken these characters. I mean, it used to be all about the comic books and just hoping that one day people would realize that these comic book characters belong in movies. They could be exploited elsewhere. They could be they could appeal to wider audiences than the people that find them in simply the comic books. Well, that has come to pass. Obviously, I mean, these characters are much bigger than could ever be contained within the confines of a comic book page. And because of this, obviously they're much more profitable. I mean, a character like Thor or Captain America or the Hulk or Spider-Man can bring in so much more money on the screen, on the silver screen. And just with an array of licensing. Do you remember in the 1980s when it was like those Secret Wars action figures were all there was, and they looked hokey? Some of them, they looked okay. They had shields with like lenticular animated kind of features, but that was it. I mean, now they're everywhere, and they're a multi-billion-dollar industry, and the comic books are losing money. So it's only a matter of time, of course, until what we're suggesting is going to happen. And I've been saying 5 years, and I'm starting to think it's going to be sooner than that. I'm starting to think it's going to be sooner than that. So Marvel Comics has office space in Manhattan, and that from what I understand, and I don't have this confirmed, but from what I understand, the lease is up. The lease is going to be up like this year or next year. And, Disney is just like, hey, should we renew it? I mean, are we going to keep Marvel Comics? And if we are keeping Marvel Comics in New York City, or if we're keeping them in business, if we're still going to have a publishing wing of, comic books, which we don't care about. I mean, Disney doesn't care about comic books. They don't care. I mean, they don't make money. It's just one more kind of just product that they produce, not unlike T-shirts or Frisbees. Comic books, who needs them? And so if they are going to stay in business, are they going to move from New York to California like DC Comics did, or what? What is the plan? Now, Marvel could just simply close it up, shutter it up, and then just say, all right, we'll license these characters out to smaller companies like IDW. And it just feels like this is going to happen very soon. Within 2 years. Now, if that's the case, I mean, that's going to be catastrophic for the comic book industry. Obviously, that's going to kill the direct market. The direct market's on its way out anyway. Comic shops will all close, and I just was having some feels about it. And I had to go talk to Andrea, and it just reminded me of some kind of it's going to sound strange. I was talking to her. I was like, it seems like we left for some reason, like we were out in orbit in the space shuttle, and we decided that it was safer on the outside of the space shuttle, floating around in orbit, than it was on the space shuttle. And we just were floating around in orbit, but the space shuttle was always there. We could always go back to the space shuttle if we realized that we did something stupid. And then the space shuttle exploded, it's like, so now, now we have to figure it out. We actually do have to figure out a plan. This is imminent. Like, the comic book industry is in real trouble. Joe Quesada actually has to go with CB, Complete Bastard, Cebulski. I don't think CB stands for Complete Bastard. I don't think that's true. You guys told me that. I think that's a lie. And we have to they have to go there. They have to make the pitch for why comic books are more important to Disney than T-shirts or small miniature figurines that you buy in the airport that look like Mickey Mouse. Good luck. Good luck to making that explanation why comics, which lose money hand over fist, And by the way, haven't produced a valuable story in 15 years. Why they need to why they need to, you guys are coming up with CBs. What do the initial CBs stand for? You guys are figuring it out. So Andrea was like, it's like moving west. It's like it's like you kept saying, it's like being a pioneer. She's like, you are a pioneer. You're all pioneers. You're moving out west and you're setting up a small town. You've got to build Deadwood, whether you like it or not. I pity some of these comic pros that just spent all this time hating on us, all this time trying to tear us down, all this time hating on Comicsgate. For what reason? I don't know. I'm thinking about Joe Quesada comparing me to the Maharishi, with the Beatles. He's a big Beatles fan, so am I. Like, I'm a fraud and like a hoaxer. What would you say? What's the term I'm looking for? Like, the Maharishi was the guy, like Jonestown. I can't even think of it. Why can't I? Sometimes I can't think of words. I'm pretty good at speaking until I lose a vocabulary word, and then I can't figure it out anymore. You guys are still coming up with CVs. Guru, false messiah, cult leader would be good. Yeah. Kind of like that. I mean, is the Maharishi a cult leader? But yeah, like that kind of situation where it's like, the accusation is that I have all the answers, but I don't really, and I'm just fooling everybody, and people are following me. And look, why is and the whole time he was saying this, I'm like, no, I'm just a guy on the internet. I'm just a guy on YouTube who is selling frog books and talking about what's going wrong with comics. That's all I am. I didn't mean to become the Maharishi, Joe. But for him to make that comparison was so odd. It was so weird. I was like, why does he care? Why does somebody like Joe Quesada care about what I'm saying or doing? He shouldn't care. He shouldn't be talking like this. His behavior on social media has become reckless. It's become weird. It's become, he doesn't care. He just doesn't care what he's saying. He's saying what he feels and not what he should be saying on behalf of Disney. And why is that? Why isn't he speaking on behalf of Marvel Comics anymore? And that is the question. It's weird. I'm telling you, I'm very, very, very lucky. I'm very, very lucky. My life just goes the way it's supposed to go. And it doesn't always feel that way. It doesn't always feel like, I look back on my life and I'm like, I've gone through some really tragic situations, tragic losses, only to come out on the other side so much better off. And, the people who opposed me do not. It's really, really fun to like think about in a way, and kind of humbling. It's like I was talking to my little brother and I was like, I definitely believe in God at this point. I definitely believe in God. He has to be there. My life is too it's too fortunate. Too many times when I could have just been given up to despair, and I stuck with it and came out on the other side much better. Hey Tug, how you doing?
Hey there, pretty good. Hey, have you seen those crazy IDW numbers? So we got a preview. I was blown away by this. So
yeah,
IDW 2018, they lost $36 million.
It's just too much.
They're only worth 49. So I was like, damn, that's 78% of their company in 1 year.
So Nasser, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. The Indiegogo is going well. How are you doing?
That's why he's here. He's here to promote his Indiegogo, which is fine.
I'm here because I love you, Ethan.
All right. Well, thanks, Nasser. I love you too. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad both of you are here. I'm just talking about the end of the comic book industry and how it makes me feel. I've got a lot of feels about it, and I have to talk it through. I've got an article to read that I want to read to you guys. But I was gonna say, like a few big events in my life have just led to much bigger things. Like 2011, my wife was just like, hey, I'm moving out. I don't think we're working out anymore. And so she moved out, and we were separated. And I just thought, what am I going to do now? Like, where does my life go now? I've been married for so many years, like a decade and a half. And suddenly I'm single and she's dating someone else. Like, she's moved on with her life and she's dating a guy who's teaching her how to skydive, you know? And I'm just doing my own thing at this point. I'm a little resentful, but I'm just trying to figure out where I go, how to pick up the pieces from here before my divorce goes through and all this stuff. And I end up meeting Andrea, you know, and life just kind of becomes so much better. I mean, it just becomes so much better in every way. I'm so much happier, so much more fulfilled. And then, like, and this is awful, guys. This is terrible. Please don't take this the wrong way. The guy she's seeing fell out of an airplane, plummeted 3,000 feet to his death. Now,
are you fucking kidding me? Is that real?
Dead serious. Yeah. Like the guy that she decided she was going to move on with fell out of an airplane and died.
First of all, when you said she left for her skydiving instructor, at that point, I was like, this is insane. I always feel like if I get married, my wife will leave me for her yoga instructor.
Yeah, something like that. Something more fun, of course.
But this was more fun. Except this is
yeah.
And then she died. It fell out.
It's not funny. I'm sorry.
I'm not laughing at the death, of course.
I'm not either.
But it is kind of ridiculous.
Yes, it is. It is. All right.
So I'm laughing at the absurdity, not the actual.
Yeah, just when me too. The situation couldn't get any more messed up in the story. Like, good God.
Yeah. You know, it was interesting. I've only told my friends that, you know, but I've never really actually said that aloud because it's so weird. It's like so.
Is it as weird as telling the police you might be swatted because you write comic books?
Dude, my whole life is like that right now. My whole life is an incredibly weird story. And oftentimes it's embarrassing, but it leads to something better. You know, it's like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
The chat is taking that story with an incredible amount of maturity, by the way.
Yeah. Are they laughing? They're laughing.
They're running flat.
Well, what are you going to do? I just want people to be happy, honestly. You know, I'm happy. So, you know, I think that's sad, but it is kind of like, it's kind of like my God is the Old Testament God, and he will strike you down with furious anger if you F with me. And I felt that way ever since. Like, I felt that way. It just seems like God is telling me, Ethan, I'm going to humble you several times. By the way, it's not working, God. I mean, you know, I keep getting more and more egocentric and arrogant because things keep going my way. But over and over again, it's who is Donnie Thumbin Fist? Who is this person?
Some cuck boy.
Oh, that's Donald's brother.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing? How'd you get the link?
It's in the chat. I'm in the chat.
You're in the chat?
It's Donald.
Is that Donald Delay? Oh, it's a fake. It's Donald's new account. Donald's having personality. I see. All right, I got it.
Having a midlife crisis. I just got back from skydiving lessons. Wanted to see what's going on.
It's not funny, guys. It's awful.
Did you scream Geronimo?
Ethan, by the way, I went skydiving right outside of Atlantic City. I wonder if that guy was. I wonder.
Anything's possible, Cecil. At this point, I don't really know.
I have it on video. I'll run it by you.
Yeah. So tragedies all around. Tragedies for my enemies. Success and happiness for my friends, for my family, and that's always been the case. So this is what it is. I mean, this is the situation. As some people in the comic book industry who aren't necessarily Comicsgate are coming to the realization now that everything that we're saying is true and it's going to happen. And you've got guys like Joe Quesada who are out there trying to say, "Oh, that guy, this is Jonestown all over again." He's a false prophet and a cult leader like the Maharishi. He fooled the Beatles. Well, look, I'm just a regular guy. I'm trying to figure this out, you know, just like everyone in Comicsgate is. We're all trying to figure out where we go from here. And all I know is what we've done so far. Building something from here, building something that's going to be bigger, that's going to be sustainable is the challenge. Fortunately, there are a lot of smart people associated with Comicsgate, interested in Comicsgate, and sending me messages all the time about how they can help. They have this expertise. They have we can do this. We can absolutely do this. We can build a little publishing empire together. We can build our little Comicsgate island. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it.
I'm not aware of what Joe Quesada, he said that about you, that you're a Jonestown?
Yeah. Joe talks Joe kind of without using the right words. You have to read between the lines with Joe. For example, when Mike S. Miller did that thing with Mike Waringo, you know, the whole thing.
Right. Yeah.
Joe posted an 8-tweet tirade about what a great, wonderful, sweet man Mike Waringo was. And the reason why he did that wasn't to tribute Mike Waringo. Indeed, there was no real reason to tribute Mike Waringo. It wasn't an anniversary of his birth or death. It was just a way of saying, yeah, F you, Mike S. Miller.
Oh, so he did that. When did he put that out? Today?
No. He put that out. Oh, which one?
With you, I'm talking about the Jonestown.
Months back. Months back.
Well, to Joe Quesada, I would say in business, there's a saying, if you're not growing, you're dying. And Comicsgate is growing.
I just want to serve the Kool-Aid.
Sometimes I want to serve the Kool-Aid too. I really
hope
do.
They put it. I hope for those people's sake they put enough sugar in it. Some of those moms out there would never put any sugar in it. I was like, what is this shit?
Well, you know, you're worried about your kid's sugar intake. You know, that's
at that point.
Thing.
At that point, Ethan, live a little. You know,
I agree. Did you see that scene in The Sopranos? Remember that? Like, they've got that kid tied to a chair, and they're just like, "Do you want something to drink?" He's like, "I'm thirsty." It's like, "You want a drink?" He's like, "How about this?" And they give him like a sugarless Fanta. And Tony Soprano's like, "How is it? He's like, "It's good." He's like, "You sure that's what you want? You don't want something with a little sugar in it?" No, this is great, Tony. Thank you. And he's like, "Well, I'm glad it's great because that sugarless motherfucker is the last drink you're ever having." Boom, 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 boom. So this is, this is good advice to people. I mean, it's basically like, when the end is near,
have the sugar. Yes,
have the sugar. Treat yourself. Oh my God. So, Dom Casey's in the chat going, "Ethan, you're not Tony Soprano." Did I say anything that made it seem like I was Tony Soprano? I'm not sure. But in any case, this is where we find ourselves, guys. I want to show you this article. Tug, I'm sure that you've already read this. I'm sure you've probably already done a stream on this because you're on the ball. You're on the money with this kind of thing. And yes, I am Tony Soprano. All right, let's go. Boom. Oops. Did I lose it? No, this isn't the right article. Here it is. All right. The retailer's view. Thank you next. Thank you next. The retailer's view. This is from a month ago. Did any of you guys read this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did. Okay.
I haven't seen this one.
All right.
I think Tug, you did this on your channel, didn't you?
Yeah, but it's still, it's good to actually. I like seeing this from a pro point of view. It's actually dealt with the industry and all on. I mean, you can. The insights we get here, mixing pros, retailers, and all, and I think that's actually very telling. You can see all of it leading to that one point, the death of the industry, like Ethan said, and trying to come to terms with it.
Yeah. This is what it is. I mean, there are a few people who already realize it, Tug. I mean, there are a few people in the industry who see it coming already, and there are others who are in deep denial. Somebody like it's sad that like somebody like Gail Simone with what's her name, Kelly Sue DeConnick, posted duck face pictures like, "Sorry, we took over the industry, incels." Not sorry. Just kidding. The industry's dying. I honestly I don't at this point I don't think you want to take responsibility for what's going to happen next. This industry's been flourishing for 70 years, and now it's pretty much we're right on the verge of it ending. So here's the article. Comics are a waste of money. These are the words that linger in my brain. They slip into dreams and God, this is too poetic for me. Tug, did you actually read this?
Sadly, yeah.
All right, I'll do it. Let me try. We should do this like grade school where like we trade off paragraphs. Do you remember doing that in school where it's like, all right, you read that? Yeah, I always tried to do my best, Yeah. I always really tried to do my best when it was my turn to read a paragraph, and I hoped that there was a big one so I could really perform for the class.
Sadly, most articles feel like they were written on CNCs these days, so it's not like we're switching off novels or anything there.
Ethan, one time in school, we had to do that trade-off paragraphs, and we got to this part where this kid Robert had to read something about Puerto Rico, and he kept mispronouncing Puerto Rico, and the teacher was just like started yelling at the class because they said you're making fun of Puerto Ricans. But and I always thought that was so bizarre that she didn't catch that we were.
You're making. Okay. All right, they want me to do this in a soy voice, and I guess I could. I have nothing. No, I don't want to. These are two retailers. I mean, it's too sad. It's too sad. Comics are a waste of money. These are the words that linger in my brain. They slip into dreams. By the way, this is so much better than Nasser. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I see. I see, Ethan.
This is so much better than the way Nasser writes. And these guys aren't even writers. No, they're just.
And by the way, he's reading the side of a shampoo bottle right now.
And if you want to compare this yourself, then listen to this article and then go purchase Nasser's new book, Trixie Blood Reaper Kane Ho.
Yeah,
or something.
Always purchase everything Nasser's got. By the way, today is the day that I am. Today's the first day that I'm not promoting Mike S. Miller's The Meg. I'm not doing it because you know he's like it's Sunday. I don't live stream on Sunday. Well, then why am I working for you? I'm not doing nothing for him
like,
anymore.
Yeah, you do it and go to hell for sinning.
Yeah,
how dare he? I just promoted Nasser. I just did a live stream with Nasser.
You did?
Yeah, it was great.
Just now you stepped all over it. That's why we all jumped over here. Oh. Yeah, and we announced a new tier. If he hits 100 grand, there's a we're going to Vegas and getting him laid tier, and I will do a face reveal.
Oh, nice. People want to know where Mitch Breitweiser's been. I'm damned if I know. I talked
watercolor painting shit.
I talked to Mitch during the Dave Sim debacle. I called him up, panicked him over that whole thing. And that was the last time I spoke to Mitch. You know, I call him with bad news. That's what I want to call him. Here you go, Mitch. Here's a whole load of stress for you.
He's keeping it low key. They got a lot of threats and shit. The two of them. That was a lot of bullshit they had to deal with. Well, you know more than anyone.
Yeah. They don't. I mean, they don't like it. I like it. You know, I've gotten to the point where I like it. They don't like it at all. You know. I mean,
if they're not trying to kill you, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah. Well, once you realize why this is all happening, you know, it's kind of like at first it seemed like we were being bullied, and now it doesn't seem like that. Now it seems like a corpse is trying to beat, like not a corpse, like somebody who's dying is trying to beat us up because they're jealous that we're healthy or something. I don't know what I can't really compare it, but it doesn't feel like bullying because it's not coming from a place of strength anymore. It's coming from a place of fear. And that just puts everything into context. Like when you see these anti-Comicsgaters flipping out and calling us names and stuff, and then you read an article like this one that I'm trying to read, but Nasser keeps interrupting me. You realize that it's coming from a place of absolute fear. They're terrified, absolutely terrified. So I don't know. Mitch and Elizabeth could probably stand to understand that, you know, to have that like fully explained to them and then embrace it. Like this is what, you know, like if I had feelings, it would be survivor's guilt, but I don't have feelings for this. I just don't. Not after what the comic book industry kind of put us through for the past.
Plus, might I add, if I may interject, also Mitch lives in Arkansas and he has an AK-47 next to him at all times.
Oh yeah.
If anything, he does. I mean, he really does. He told me that he not told me, but he told a story once. There was a car crash out front, and he thought someone was breaking in, so he ran out with an AK-47.
So it's basically Mitch that's Tony Soprano, Dom Casey. If you were,
I thought you were calling Elizabeth an AK-47 for a minute there.
All right, very good. So Dom's very happy with Cecil. By the way, Dom Casey's a big fan. I watch him in the chat. He's you know, he's a little edgy with me, but he loves Cecil.
He's a man of culture.
Yeah. All right, so comics are a waste of money. As a child, I would hear them after managing to get one of my parents to take me to the local comic shop, a feat usually managed twice a year around my birthday and Christmas time. After months of reading information on the internet, spoiling myself in bits and pieces in order to arrive at a comic store armed with a game plan, I'd make my purchase amidst sighs of discontent. Are you sure this is what you want to spend your money on? I would hear in the store. Comics are a waste of money, is what I'd hear at home. At the time, those words cut deep. They struck at the worth of something tied to my sense of being. This is a little nutty. Today, I think they are all words we need to hear, no matter how much they might hurt our souls. Welcome to 2019, my friends. Welcome to the death of the industry as we know it. Is that? You think that's pushing it too far? You think that's about right?
That's about right.
Yeah.
It's about right, but it was a little dramatic.
A little dramatic. Yeah, I don't feel like this is striking at my soul, you know, but I don't know. Look, on the other hand, I'm not a retailer. If you're reading this column, chances are you've been keeping your Grant Morrison used to have a column. He called it Ride My Column. It was like, Grant Morrison's a genius, man. He had a column for the CBR and he called it Ride My Column. God, I love a good dick joke. I wish Mike was here. If you're reading this column, chances are you've been keeping your finger on the pulse of Gestures Wildly, the comic book industry, and the grim forecast of comics retail in 2019. For those who haven't, here's the quick and dirty version. Many retailers are having a tough go as of late, and many are closing up shop rather than signing up for a few more years of decline. The reasons for this are legion and sometimes highly specific to a store, but all seem to have an immutable idea at the core. Something is wrong. The trick seems to come in identifying what that something is and when it started happening. If we're being honest, I think everything went wrong several decades ago. See, that's ridiculous. Somewhere around the first speculator boom of the 90s. During that span of time, you could see Brian Hibbs talking about how the short-term practices being put forward by retailers and encouraged by retailers would do irreparable harm to the industry. And he was right. The industry saw a collapse that took a whole slew of short-sighted, slow-to-act stores down with it, emerging shakily years later as graphic novels started permeating societal consciousness. What do you think of that, Tug?
Did they say that was the encouraged by retailer? I never felt like they really encouraged a lot of this. I mean, they wanted money, sure, but the industry, I mean, they're the ones, the publishers. I put it on the publisher. I don't put it on the retailer. The retailer kind of has a noose around their neck no matter what happens. They have to go along, otherwise it collapses. So I mean, I agree with some of the stuff they're saying. I just think that more of the blame, like a Marvel and everything else, they get it. If you look at new stuff that's happened, like look at how DC handled themselves last year versus 2017. They were winning awards for their customer service and their customers, the retailer. 2018, they pulled the plug on all of it because they knew that things had finally happened. You could see what was going to happen with all of the incentive and variant covers and all of the mistakes. So that wasn't the retailer's fault. That was the publisher's fault.
Yeah, well, do we blame the retailers for the speculator boom of the 90s? I'm not sure. I guess what we actually blame is what do we blame? So what happened was the death of Superman happened. And the death of Superman was on mainstream TV. It was on CNN. I mean, everybody was talking about this, and there was an interest in comics. There was an interest in comics as an investment, because along with the death of Superman as the biggest event of all time came this idea that, remember all the comics that you might find in your basement, in your attic, hey, they might be worth real money. This is a real thing now. This Death of Superman book's going to sell a lot. Well, this kind of aroused normal people who were not comic book fans necessarily to suddenly start thinking about coming to the comic book shops and buying multiple copies of completely garbage. I don't want to say they're garbage. I mean, they're not worth anything because they're overprinted. As these people came in and said, I'm going to buy 10, 15, 20, 50 copies of The Death of Superman, that book is worth 20 cents now. And then once people realized that, hey, everybody had the same idea all at once, and yeah, you're definitely enriching the publishers and the artists. I mean, people were making crazy money. Ask Dan. We should have Dan Jurgens on. I would ask him. I'd say, like, Do you remember that check for the Death of Superman book for Superman? What was it, 70, whatever that book was, 700 or something like that? Do you remember that paycheck that you got for that? He would tell you, I bought a house with it. You know, I bought a house with my royalty check, a big house, a mansion, a palace for the Death of Superman. People were making tons and tons and tons of money, hand over fist, until suddenly the people who were buying the comics started to wake up. When you turn around and you try to get a return on your investment, and that's if comics are an investment, you need to be able to get a return on your investment. And when you show up with 50 copies of the Death of Superman that you paid $3 a piece for, or whatever it was, it might have been $2, and you're looking for a $500 return, and they're telling you they're worth 20 cents, you quit. You get pissed and you quit. And that's kind of what happened. Sales declined. By the way, not only that, but like a lot of people who were sincere readers of comics started to kind of back away because people were pumping out these comics so quickly that they were just, I was there. I remember all this. They were pure garbage.
And there was the upsell too. Like I would go, I dealt with this comic shop that was, they were a little sketchy looking back. You know, I would have something on order and, you know, everybody was buying. And then that day, like you're talking about Death of Superman, you know, if something came out, these places, they would try to upsell to the speculators, you know, and they'd sell it for like $20, $25. So you would have like long-term readers having comics pulled out of their boxes. And it didn't just go with, comics. It went with everything. Like I found a price guide for those collectible, you know, cards back in the day. All of the and the prices on them in the 90s were absolutely insane. You know, for things that are essentially worthless. They're cool, but they're worthless. And people were paying, you know, $50 for a Marvel Masterpiece card or, you know, some other card that was out there.
Absolutely. Like it's all about what people are willing to pay for it. And if you can create a demand for something like that, then there's going to be value. But as people lose interest, that value drops off, and people were losing interest. And that absolutely is the thing. Now, all of those comics, everyone has a crate. The retailer's bane right now is somebody calling them up and going, I got a whole crate of old comics that I need to bring in here to sell. I just inherited them or something like that. And the retailer goes, okay. But in the back of his mind, he knows that these are not silver golden age comics. They're from the 90s. And these things, there's going to be a crate of just stuff that isn't worth 5 cents, and he's going to have to turn them away. That's just normal. That's something that retailers deal with every single day now. And it's discouraging. I mean, that doesn't make people want to buy more comics. That makes people want to buy less comics. I'm looking behind me at my expensive Fantastic Four collection that is worth, in terms of what I paid for it, probably about $25,000. And it's like, that's not worth any. It's probably not going to be worth much in 5 years, which in a way is good, because if that's the case, I'll just buy up the ones I'm missing at a low price. I'd rather just have the books. But I'm telling you, all this stuff is becoming more reasonable right now. We are in a down market all around.
Ethan, I don't have children yet, but I do plan on sending them to college with my Garbage Pail Kids money. Do you have any idea what the aftermarket value is on that? I have a full set.
Garbage Pail Kid cards might actually be worth something.
They have some value now, actually. They did go up in a little bit.
Thank God. I invest wisely. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big deal. Garbage Pail Kids are good. Somebody sent me a whole box of them.
Hey, Ethan, since you were talking about Mike not being able to, go out and pump out the Meg on Sundays, what about being in, say, a live chat? Does that count any?
Jesus judges it all the same. Mike, your mind is not on the Lord. You might as well be in here pimping your book, like one of the who was at the temple selling.
Do you have to phrase it like that, though?
Yes,
you might as well be pimping.
Well, that's what he should be doing, because he is like those people. He's like the bankers outside of the temple.
The money changer. The
money changers. Yeah. They came out. Jesus, he busted out the miracle whip, and he was like,
yeah, he flipped the table.
Yeah, for real. And that's what Mike is making Jesus want to do that again. Jesus is like, he's thinking about overturning some tables when he sees what Mike is doing.
Well, I have a "What Would Jesus Do" moment because I'm doing a Comicsgate death match between Malin and Miller coming soon. As soon as I get Lone Star, it's going to be Graveyard Shift versus Lone Star. Loser goes in the shredder.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Loser goes in the shredder. Yeah, so I'm looking at a house, by the way. This is this is off topic. You know, Andrea said we need a pool. You know, so we need a pool. I want to run this by Mike. Hey, Mike.
I can't even not laugh when you say it. Whenever you say hey Mike, I laugh.
I want to see
Mike,
how.
Mike, do you like this pool? Mike, do you want to go swimming in this pool? No? All right.
Do you want that pool to get you wet?
Mike. Hey, Mike. I should just keep it screen shared. It doesn't matter if this doesn't work quite right. Hey, Mike. What about this pool, Mike? Mike. Mike, do you like this pool? Mike, what about this pool?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Mike, what about this one?
Oh, that one.
Mike, you got to tell me if you like these pools. On Sunday, on the Sabbath day, Mike. You like this pool? This is one of the pools I'm thinking about getting. Mike, how about this one right here, Mike? Should I keep going or no, Cecil? Should I prove my point or should I keep going?
Keep going.
All right, I should keep going. That's fine. Hey, Mike, what do you think? They're all the same. Why are they shaped like this? Why are they all? Hey, Mike, why is this? What is this going on here?
Everyone's got a ring.
It's a chubby.
Oh my God! Why do I do this to Mike? Yeah. So this is the pool that I'm thinking about getting, and I hope Mike likes it. I hope he'll come over for a swim, but I know he won't. I know he won't.
I hope you can get that pool.
Me too. It's like, look at that. They're all. How can you? Okay. All right. So anyway, in any case, Mike, what we're trying to say to you is that you might as well come in here and do some work. Hey, Art, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you guys? I heard comics is a sinking ship. Is that true?
Well, it seems to be, Art. I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
I don't like this. I'm deeply saddened by this.
Yeah.
But we're gonna save it, right?
No.
Resurrect it?
No. We're not. We're gonna let him keep being stupid until they don't want to just let it die a noble, dignified death. I think they just want to humiliate it on the way out. Because look at this, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez is humbled and honored by the AOC superhero comic. Humbled and honored, guys.
I'd rather kill myself than read this.
I'll read it for you. I'll read it for you. New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez reacted to the news that she was going to be portrayed as a superhero. This is how dumb everyone is. This woman is not a superhero.
Her hand is really drawn poorly. Look at that. It's all busted up.
I know the artist who did this, and now I feel bad about it because I kind of like the guy. It's a Tim Seeley cover, but yeah, when I saw it, I said, Tim, what are you doing?
Yeah, the thumb is terrible.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Look at it. Here's the whole thing.
Look at that thumb.
Do you think he did it just for the money?
Well, I did he do it for love? I mean, is this, you know what I mean?
No, there's no love.
Yeah, like this wasn't a carefully crafted. I don't want to crack on an artist like that, but yeah, this is like I saw this and went, oof, like that's not the Tim Seeley I know.
Crack on him, Ethan.
I don't want to. I like him.
No, but shouldn't the illustration of somebody, if you're being flattering, be more than what they are? She looks better in real life than the drawing.
What if her hand actually looks like that in real life?
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, does it? I've never seen her hand.
I never have either.
Bad for her having a claw hand.
So she can just get in there. By the way, look at the elephant wears the crown. So I guess the Republicans are king. He's a red elephant that represents the Republicans. We're the king. Is this a threat? By the way, is this a threat? Is this something that the Secret Service needs to be notified about? And look at the donkey back here, the Democrat in a cuck robe, like cucked out, like, oh my goodness, you did that. What the fuck?
Why is he pulling on his collar like yeah?
That's what I'm saying. Nobody could do it except for AOC. And look at this new party. Who this? Who this? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and the Freshman Force. New party. Who this? Washington Warrior variant. Devils do. This is the state of comics right now.
Who
guys.
the hell thought this was a good idea?
Me.
Tim.
So
Len.
is she declaring herself as a third party? Is the donkey next?
I don't know. I don't like any of this. I'm telling you. I don't dig this, like making comic books out of politicians. I know
I never
gets
have
me in
either.
trouble. I know that causes strife within Comicsgate. Bad feelings. People get their nose out of joint and then want to cause trouble. But I don't like this. I think it's really weird to be this worshipful of a politician, and especially an idiot like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who is, I mean, just factually an idiot. Just
It's an
factually.
embarrassment to Puerto Ricans.
Ben Shapiro offered her money to debate him.
And she said, stop. I mean, she's got the clever comeback, but why would Ben even do that?
To expose her as a dummy.
Yeah, but we get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't need Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez exposed as a dummy. I know she's a dummy. I want somebody else exposed. Like he did a really good job of exposing what's his name, that English guy who came over here, started yelling about our guns. What's that guy's name again?
I know what you're talking about. Piers Morgan or something?
Piers Morgan, yeah. Did a really good job of exposing Piers Morgan as a bully and a dummy. That's somebody who needed to be exposed. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, we get it. You know, it's like she's there because it's funny that she's there. Like that's the whole thing. She's there because it's funny. Like she's there to amuse people. And they're going to punish us by running her as president. Like, you know, we can run a dummy too.
And make great comics, apparently.
Yeah. At least one of the stories in the anthology has Ocasio-Cortez depicted as a superpowered wrestler.
That's not a wrestle move. She's got a sword in her hand.
Well, she's Wonder Woman here. I mean, clearly she's Wonder Woman, but she's a wrestler in another one. So a percentage of the proceeds will go to support the USO. Well, that's nice. And racist Texas? Is that what this says?
Mm-hmm.
Why does it say racisttexas.org?
Look that up.
Texas. Yeah, could someone please? Is this meant to say raises Texas? No, it's racist Texas.
No.
Because
The
they
whole
let
state.
they're a non-profit organization committed to providing legal services to illegal aliens. That's pretty fucking right on the money. Ocasio-Cortez was quick to acknowledge the charitable aspect of the comic book, explaining, "It's an honor. People would put so much of their time." No, it isn't. They got nothing but time and talent into that all on their own. I'm especially honored that they're donating the proceeds to Racist Texas for immigration and civil rights protections. So that part of the project, if it can all benefit communities that need it, is really amazing.
Amazing.
Everything's amazing to people, John.
I know. Makes me sick.
Look at this.
All right, so what do we got? Did you guys look up Racist Texas? You didn't look it up. All right, doesn't matter. We know what it is. All right, so when the TMZ cameraman pressed her for more about what it feels like to be portrayed as a superhero in a comic book, Ocasio-Cortez, who made headlines back in January for quoting Rorschach from The Watchmen in a tweet responding to her critics. Remember that? All you have to do is quote like a comic book. Remember when Trump said that when Obama said that he's a big comic book fan and all these idiots swooned, and then you never heard about it again? He probably told every community that he's a fan of whatever it is they're into. He's like, oh yeah, I'm a furry.
I would love to have that soundbite.
She was saying if you argue
suckers.
with her, she's gonna throw a dead dog through your door. That's how I took it from the Rorschach page.
All right, here we go. She says
He's a brony.
She said the whole situation is incredibly humbling. And that's another thing that I don't really understand. When I say something's humbling, I'm being sarcastic, or I'm being facetious. When people do things to honor you, and pump you up as Wonder Woman, how is that humbling? Does humbling mean something else that I'm not aware of?
When you put me on a pedestal,
yeah, it's humbling.
It's humbling.
It's really it makes me feel humble. A great star like me feels really humble when you do that.
Worshipped.
I did a tribute to Brie Larson the other day. I hope she was humbled by it.
We do humble them, don't we? Our tributes actually are meant to humble people, and they do work.
Did you happen to see that? I know you didn't, but did you happen to see that? It was the Smile. I did a tribute video with Judy Garland singing "Smile." Though your heart is breaking.
Smile though your heart is breaking. Awesome. By the way, I saw a woman on. This is apropos of nothing, Cecil. Okay, this is just for you, but. I was thinking about you because I went on YouTube and somebody recommended a video to me, and it was this woman who did a perfect impersonation of both Julie Andrews and then also Judy Garland. Okay, so she's she's a really, really good singer and performer, and she did Lady Gaga songs as done by Judy Garland.
Oh, I gotta check that out. I would be interested in shit like that.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know if there's anything quite as gay as that. If there's anything gayer.
I don't know. Is that gay?
I would think so. I would think Judy Garland singing Lady Gaga.
Gay. Yeah,
liking Judy Garland is pretty gay.
Yeah.
If it was Liza Minnelli, it would really, really be gay.
No, you don't understand, Art. The only reason why Liza Minnelli is considered gay is because she's Judy Garland's daughter. And
she's
so
daughter of the rainbow.
Right, exactly. If Judy Garland were still around, Liza Minnelli would be a big zero.
But she married a gay guy too, right?
I don't know. Did
Minnelli?
she?
Yeah, David Geffen.
Yeah. Oh, David Geffen. Is he gay?
I don't think so. He seems very straight to me.
Oh my gosh. That guy's on the creepy spectrum.
No.
I'd go to that. I would go see Liza Minnelli.
He's like an outdoorsman type.
He's got that tan. He's got that stern bush showing through his shirt.
Yeah.
If I had to chop wood and you had to pick a team, I'd go get me David Geffen.
All right, guys, we're going to need to calm down because Nasser is getting excited.
David Guest, not David Geffen.
Oh, David Guest. That's a far cry from David Geffen. My God. David Geffen.
Who the hell is David Geffen?
You don't know who David Geffen is? He's like a mogul. He's like an entertainment mogul.
It's music, right?
Yeah,
he's one of the DreamWorks guy.
Yeah, he's Spielberg, Geffen. It's DreamWorks.
Yeah. I knew who you meant, though, Cecil.
Either way, both of those guys are very manly, in my opinion.
I'm glad, Cecil. Your opinion on that is important to the chat.
It's paramount.
Even though you outed the wrong guy.
All right. Juan Dominic points out in the chat, he says racist means roots in Spanish. I didn't realize that. So that's good to know. So roots, Texas, the roots of Texas. I don't know. Anyway, that's the charity. So anyway, she says, I'm just a normal person doing her best. If I can be that for a little girl somewhere where she can see herself being a superhero, I think that's important for us to see. We all have a superhero inside of us. There's so many sexist jokes to make at this point, but I'm not going to. What I'm going to say instead is that I feel the same way. If there's a little boy out there somewhere who can look at me and realize that he too can be a superhero, my work is done.
That would be Nasser.
Yeah. And if you're a woman and you could have a superhero inside of you.
I was going to make this joke and I left it.
I wouldn't be Nasser. You gotta go with Reed Richards. You gotta.
Yeah.
Oh, and David Geffen is gay, by the way.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, I'm researching all this right now.
Way to out him, jerk.
That was
I'm gonna
a
take
twofer.
I'm gonna start a GoFundMe so that I can get a bunch of impoverished homeless kids to come see you, Ethan. They're just gonna come sit outside your house and watch you eat a sandwich or something.
I think that would be
So
fun.
they can look up to you.
They
It's
can
basically
worship
like
you.
inviting the comic media, right?
I think it would be good for them to see how a real hero eats a hero.
You know why I like this stream? Because somewhere out there, Bill Sienkiewicz is fuming. He's there. He's listening right now.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Hey, Bill.
I see him. He's responding to. By the way, Nasser.
Nasser, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So here's what happened. Nasser caused all kinds of trouble. Nasser goes into. I invited Comicsgate to go into this new stream that was started up by a good guy by the name of Dan Panosian, and then a guy that I don't know called Jeff Johnson, and then an execrable piece of shit named Dave Johnson, who I do know, probably one of the worst people on the face of the earth, or at least in comics. And the three of them together were going to do a live stream, about drawing. They're going to do a drinking and drawing live stream on YouTube. And I really thought, even though I don't like Dave Johnson, I want these people to actually realize at some point, these comic book pros, that this is all going to collapse out from under them. And they really do need to find a new way to let normal people know who they are. Most of these guys are still living in the 90s, and they think Wizard Magazine still exists, and they think people know who they are. People don't know who you are. You do have to actually get out there and try to meet fans again. There's a whole new generation of young people. The way to do that is right here on YouTube.
No, just wait for him to show up at a convention.
Yeah, I was listening to a lot of noises in the background. I was trying to figure out who was doing that so I could yell. But I don't want to yell all the time. John, I don't want to yell.
Do it, Ethan.
Mainland militia.
Yell at Dave Johnson.
It's probably Art. Art is notorious for background noise. He's probably
Art is really bad at this, man. Art.
I do. I suck at this.
I can say that it's not me because I'm muting my my mic and my kids are screaming, so you'd be able to hear that.
So yeah, I was excited about this. I wanted people to come in. Now Nasser came into their stream. Let's go over this. Nasser came into their stream like it was time to heckle them. And they were so fragile as they were doing their drink and draw. Like most of them weren't really drinking or drawing. They were just like, we're on YouTube, guys. Hey, so like, remember that thing that, oh, you're funny. We've been friends for a long time, right? Like that kind of banter back and forth that was really painful, dude. It was really cringe. But I was being supportive of them, I really wanted it to work. Nasser comes in there like, this stream is cancer. You guys are idiots. And he wouldn't stop. Like Nasser just the whole time. So after it was over, so I think they were, first of all, boomers, and they are boomers. I know I'm Gen X. I call myself a boomer, but I'm Gen X, man. Those guys are boomers. I understand YouTube, and I understand that one thing that you've got to do is you've got to shut out the chat for about 98% of the time. You peek every now and then. See, hey, chat, how you doing? Doing good? Okay, good. But for the rest of the time, you're focusing on creating a show. You're trying to talk. You're trying to keep the conversation moving, create a story, tell a story, visual picture, or actually draw a picture for people, which is what they promised to do. They were incapable of doing that because they were obsessed with the chat, and the chat was making them feel so uncomfortable that finally they ended the whole live stream and then just hit Twitter to talk about how Comicsgate had harassed them. Nasser, you want to talk about that?
Well, I didn't think it was that bad what I said, and then Dan Panosian just lost his mind about me. And I don't know, it was just so entertaining. He's like, how dare you call me a cancer? I'm like, Dan, there are worse things. You could actually have cancer. Like my little sister's 15. She doesn't cry as much as he does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yeah, they ended the stream because of Nasser. They couldn't handle it.
And then in came Dan, and Dan is still talking about it, by the way. Last I looked at Twitter, Dan was still talking about the abuse he suffered on YouTube.
If they can't handle Nasser on YouTube, then they're not ready for YouTube.
Yeah, that's true.
The force is strong with Nasser.
They said like what we're gonna do is like, hey, look, we consider this like, hey, we're at a bar, we're talking. Like, if you're an asshole at a bar, we kick you out. I never thought of YouTube that way.
No.
I like this is the difference between, again, you know, I hate to say this about these guys, but this is the difference between SJWs and people who are actually in business. I'm in the business of YouTube. By the way, YouTube is doing great. You know, we made 6 figures at YouTube last year. We're going to do even better this year. And so YouTube is a business. It's a part-time job. People don't understand that in comics. They're stupid. This is a part-time job. This is a big job. This pays more than most of these people make drawing comics all day long. And I do about an hour and a half worth of work every day. Sometimes I'll do a long live stream. It's really a great situation. And not only that, it's a fantastic way to reach out to people, make fans, make new fans, interact with your customers directly, and you can sell them a product. So to treat this as though this were you guys hanging out in a bar and it's members only and you're going to eject idiots all day long and make it an unwelcoming situation for people who are not kissing your ass.
That's the modern comic industry.
That is the comic book industry played out on YouTube.
That's what it was.
They couldn't handle being me for sure, because I get hassled all the time on these streams.
The whole thing about YouTube for me is this is a radio show. And so, you know, for me, when you guys come on the show, I kind of quickly suss out who you are or who I want you to be. And I make you that person so that it's fun for people who are listening. And then the chat takes the holy hell, they take the piss out of me nonstop. And you have to develop a sense of humor about it. They're here to have fun. You're putting on a show for them. I've got 1,891 people watching right now. I have no idea who, except for the people I see right in front of me. They're here watching a show and having fun. The idea that I'm watching them going, this guy just made fun of my nose. Boot him. This is a bar. You're being an asshole. Get out. This isn't for you. This is for me and my friends. No, it's entirely for them. You know, it's entirely for the people in the chat, and I think that's an important thing to realize. And
yeah, my character right now is the old boomer guy that can't get his S together, and I've just embraced it fully, and it's a badge of honor at this point. And
that's your character art.
It's my character, yeah.
It's
the character you created,
and that's the Patsy.
By the way, I don't want to hear any Cather jokes in the chat right now.
Yeah, nobody takes more abuse than Nasser from chats.
Oh, that's for sure.
Mike does.
Art is a method actor, by the way.
My method is sucking out loud.
But also, the guy Dave Johnson drew a picture of Mike's character on a big cock. You think he would have a sense of humor? I mean, they got so fragile. I mean, I went in there. I didn't really know who any of those guys were. I saw you recommend it, and I jumped on there, and I was completely turned off by those guys. Completely.
I wanted to watch the whole thing.
It was awful.
It was bad.
The only fun part was Nasser.
Yeah, Nasser. Well, I don't know if Nasser was fun. I mean, you know, Nasser.
He's a ball.
Is Nasser fun? Is he fun?
Yeah.
He offered to buy Nasser a drink. Supposedly.
It's not that Nasser is fun. It's that Nasser plus somebody else is fun.
He evokes anger, and that's funny.
Like, right.
He's fun to make fun of.
The idea behind Nasser is fun. A guy you can kick.
What is the idea behind Nasser? What is the concept?
just a guy that you can throw under the bus, you know? Just the guy that you can kick around.
Yeah.
But we do it because we care.
So anyway, that is the thing. Now, I at one point, like I tried to talk to Dan, and I just said, Dan, this is YouTube, and you're gonna get heckled on YouTube. And if you bear up to it and you just go, I don't know, deal with it with humor or ignore it or whatever it is, but you put on a good show, you're gonna be very successful, and your channel's gonna grow and all this stuff. He didn't want to hear it. He was just like, no, man, if there are people being assholes, I'm not here to be a babysitter.
Then why is he on the internet?
I don't know, man. It was tough because I'm just like, I just went, okay, cool. You know, okay, cool. Don't listen
So
to
he's
me.
not here to
What
be
do
a
I know?
babysitter, but he kicks anyone off that, that he thinks is getting out of hand. He's not a babysitter.
Imagine if Tom Cruise took that attitude every time he got criticized.
Yeah, seriously. Think about being. I think about that sometimes. I'm like, am I being harassed or am I just famous? And I'm like, that's the question. Like, I really just kind of go. I think at this point I've become famous over the last year, and so people talk shit, and that's just what you have to deal with. And then you think about somebody like Tom Cruise. What a great point, man! Think about what he goes through.
Mm-hmm. But you can never take the stuff personal. I mean, that's
on a
the
level
wrong way to look at it.
Ocean or any of us couldn't even imagine. Tom Cruise has dealt with this stuff for decades.
Yeah,
and
his whole career.
Some people, like they'll make comments not because they're trying to offend you, but because they feel comfortable with your personality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's instead of being like a bar, it's more like a comedy club, and the people on the show, they're a comedian. You can, when you're gonna get heckled, you can either go with the punches and have fun with it, like Chris D'Elia, or you can just have a fit and storm off stage and say screw this crap.
Yeah, I hate you guys.
My upper lip is messed up right now. You guys can't tell because I'm so handsome, but it's messed up. Here's what happened. This is just a sidebar. I want to tell this story to John Malin because he's the only one who has any empathy here.
I'm going to blow the screen up on my end and lock on you so I can see this.
Okay. Oh, wait, let me do the same thing so I can see if it even turns up. Okay. I could show you.
Oh, no, it's too choppy and hang out.
I'm going to go because dinner's ready. Hopefully
All right,
I can get back on.
You're done.
Bye, Donald.
Never been late to a meal.
Goddamn right, I never have.
There's no need for that kind of language.
Not on the Sabbath day. Not with Mike in the. By the way, Mike isn't in the audience anymore.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I think we finally got through to him and his hypocrisy.
Probably out pool shopping.
So I go to BJ's.
Whoa.
Whoa.
No,
Oh,
it's
man.
a store. It isn't, it's a store called BJ's. It's always a
Can you
little
buy
bit.
pools there?
Yeah, well, you have to get a card like at BJ's, and you need a BJ card, and that always makes me feel weird. How long is this BJ card good for? Well, it's good for a year at BJ's.
6 inches. Oh.
How long is that? Was better. It's a better punchline. So I go there. I'm going shopping. Andrea sent me out for diapers and a couple of things. She wants these little salads in a bag. And as I come out of BJ's, I passed the scratch-off lotto machine. And I had a $20 bill in my wallet. Don't carry cash very often because of this. Because I stuck the $20 bill into the lotto machine, and I got a $20 scratch-off ticket. And I'm like, zippity-doo-dah. I'm feeling lucky. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, by the way, because I'm pushing the cart, I put the lotto ticket in my, like I'm holding it in my mouth. I'm like this. And I'm pushing the cart and everything, and I'm singing zippity doo dah, but it's happening in my head. It's not coming out of my mouth because I have a lotto ticket in my mouth. And I'm thinking to myself, I wish I would win this $2 million that I could win with this lotto card. Because if I won this $2 million, I think Comicsgate would just commit Harry Carey. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to just be like, hey, I don't know, I just bought a lotto ticket and won $2 million. That would be my ultimate fan, not for the money, just to see the despair, on Twitter. It's like we can't stop him. It's like he won't stop. Anyway, so I get to the car. I got the ticket in my mouth, and I unload the groceries into the car. And then as I get into the front seat, I go and pull the ticket out of my mouth. Now, because I might be a little dehydrated, I don't know, and because of the weather, it was so cold, my lip had formed. It had stuck to the card. I don't know how. When I did this, an entire layer of skin came off right up under my lip here. And I'm driving home, I'm tasting blood, I'm like, what the hell? And I do this, and I go, oh my God, like there's blood all on my middle finger. And now my lip is all swollen and messed up. But, and here's the punchline of the story. I won $50.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's 30. I had to explain to Andrea. She's like, oh, wow, you're really lucky. I'm like, I always win everything. but it's really just $30 because it's the $20 investment, you know, that you put into the ticket, and you win $50, so you really won $30, but you feel pretty good, you know. Yeah, a lot of people in the chat are outraged. You know,
it's true. You can't lose.
The moral of the story is don't go into a place called BJ's and put anything in your mouth.
Oh my god, that is exactly right. Yeah, I'm a winner. I win. You know, moderate things.
Yeah,
I always win moderately.
And you do gamble on the Sabbath, Mike. I hope you're listening.
Well, that's when God's looking out for you. God's watching you on Sunday.
It's his day, bro.
But actually, to be honest with you, Cecil, this was yesterday. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. I would meet you at Atlantic City right now. I keep threatening Andrea. Like, here's the thing. I'm like, I'm going to go to Atlantic City in the middle of the night and play blackjack all night. I'll be back in the morning before you wake up. And she's like, and I run that by her, and she goes, hey, your stuff will be on the front lawn, you know? I'm like, okay, all right.
How long is that trip for you to get to Atlantic City?
45 minutes.
Oh,
so
dude,
I mean,
totally done it.
Yeah, but I can't do it without permission. You know, it's like I would love to just be. I'd love her to say, "Yeah, I understand. Just don't spend too much money. Don't lose too much money. I'll see you in the morning. Have fun. You work hard. Go have fun." But it's
45-minute drive. Take $100. Look, be a little naughty. Be a little naughty. Take $100. You know, maybe you win, maybe you lose, but you know, you probably be there an hour. Then you hop back 45 minutes back. She'll never know you were gone.
Yeah, but that's you don't do that to your wife.
She's listening. She's listening to Malin. She's listening.
Trust me, Ethan. I never led anybody astray ever.
I believe him.
I do. I trust you, John. John Malin told me to do it, honey. John Malin, and he told me to trust him. People in the chat say Ethan needs permission from his wife. We've had this conversation. I can spend up to $200 without asking. And by the way, these aren't rules. These aren't hard and fast rules. It's not like Andrea said, but this is in my heart. Like, remember when I wanted to buy the Jabba the Hutt and it was $900, and I said I can't just pull the trigger on that, not without Andrea's permission. And you know, finally she said, "Go ahead and pull the trigger on the Jabba the Hutt. Go ahead, you can get it." And I did. But I would never do. I'd never be like, "Hey," she'd be like, "Hey, how come there's $900? What is this Sideshow Toys? $900? What the hell are you doing?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I just bought Jabba the Hutt." She has to be in on this. And something like me leaving to go to Atlantic City without her, in the middle of the night to gamble.
Yeah, but you're gambling for your family.
Yeah.
Who could get mad?
Noble.
Lord loves a working man.
Her boyfriend before me did that. And that's why I'm always like, oh man, there's no way I can do this, you know.
Sins of the past.
Yeah. She'd be like, he went out to gamble and like, you know.
By the way, I was away when you got Jabba. Did you do a review, like a toy review of it?
Oh, I did a great toy review of it. He's right. Like, look.
You could write that off then.
No, I did write it off. But I mean, look at him. Isn't he great?
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, I'll go back and watch that. I was away.
Worth every penny.
No Slave Leia with that?
No, they didn't. Of course, they didn't make a Slave Leia. You know,
terrible.
It's
another brand.
Well, I'd buy it, but they're not going to make it. They don't believe in Slave Leia. That's like the thing that they wish that they could change about Star Wars. These Star Wars SJWs are ashamed of that.
Yeah.
Now I've fought the good fight, and I've said no, it's not Slave Leia, it's Hutt Slayer Leia.
Nice.
Yeah,
Hutt
she takes
Slayer.
him down.
Yeah. And if you look at it that way, she's allowed to be in a bikini.
Also, even more of a badass because she does it with her bare hands and a chain. That's pretty tough.
But what was he going to do about it? Let's be honest. What is Jabba the Hutt going to do about it? Like, Jabba the Hutt entirely depends on the mercenaries around him to protect him. Like, what's he going to do? Does Jabba the Hutt fight? What does he know, kung fu? What's he going to do if Leia gets behind him with a rope and chokes him out? Nothing.
Roll.
With that thick neck, you got to be pretty strong.
I keep thinking like Jennifer Lawrence could have done that to Harvey Weinstein at some point.
Ooh, that's the other
It wouldn't have taken that much force.
Did you see Martina Markota? She's getting in all kinds of trouble over this. Hold on a second.
Slave Leia?
No, not Slave Leia. That would be something else, and I don't think you'd get in trouble for that. I think probably people would be appreciative. Let me look up Martina Markota.
She did A Star Is Born with the.
Yes. Wait. Don't spoil it. This is. I mean, this is a big deal for people. People do not like this, and she's getting all kinds of grief over it. Is this porn?
Well, I put out a very rated R text, a tweet the other day, and she responded with that.
Oh, with the guy on his back. I saw it looked like gay porn going through.
Oh no, not that one. That was some weird thing. That wasn't a sex thing. That the guy on his back, he had weights taped to his hand, and he was how he stays in shape. It was like a corny joke.
Oh,
that wasn't like a sex thing.
Okay, so check this out. This is why she's in trouble right now. A Star Is Born. Okay, now from a distance I see this and I just go, yeah. And then I look closer and I go, that's Harvey Weinstein and Jennifer Lawrence. Implying that Jennifer Lawrence probably slept with Harvey Weinstein for her job.
No.
You don't think that's true, right?
No, I would definitely put her in American Hustle and Joy and every other friggin' stupid Lionsgate movie.
Yeah, for no reason.
For no reason.
Because she's a good actress.
Yeah, she's very talented.
That's why she defended him when he got down. Because she's like, wait a minute, I did all that shit for nothing if this guy goes.
Yeah, all right, let's see what the people are saying to Martina. Get a life. Look at this. Ooh. Jennifer Lawrence freaking out. Not cool. Not true either. By the way, I am surprised by this reaction. Some people like it. Get back to work, Jennifer. Dance. Harvey Jackson Pollocked her in that one picture. Oh, it's awful. Oh, my God. Oh.
I'm going to commission by somebody to do a drawing of her in the Leia costume choking Harvey Weinstein.
Is this bad? I mean, should she not have done that?
It was mild. Everybody's freaking out.
Well, no, they are freaking out. That's the thing. Am I that tone deaf that I think this is a pretty good savage troll, but it's not like you shouldn't have done that. What do you mean?
They're not mutually exclusive. You are tone deaf, but I don't think it's that bad.
Oh, okay. Well, look at this finisher, flawless victory. I love when people say flawless victory to me. It makes me want to be mean to people more. I'm susceptible to that. You can encourage me to do bad things. You could say, "Oh, flawless victory, Ethan. Way to go."
Atlantic City, 45 minutes there and back.
You made that 22-year-old kid feel like garbage. Good job. Yeah, thank you. Flawless. This is me holding his head, in my hand. Yeah, I did it. I ruined that guy's day.
Peer pressure rules.
It does. Peer pressure does work on me. But I'm not good. I'm John.
Trying to help you. Trying to help you, Ethan.
Andrew is listening.
45 minutes, Ethan. That's a trip to the store. I mean,
a man has needs that need to be satisfied.
Well, don't say it like that either. That's not going to get me anywhere.
It's a 3-hour.
Yeah,
3-hour drive for me, Ethan. 45 minutes. My God.
Oh, look at this. This is again. Yeah, they got the right thing, Cecil. You're right on target here.
Wrong costume.
Yeah, that's the Bush bounty hunter costume. I don't know. I thought she was hot in Return of the Jedi. I didn't really think Carrie Fisher was that great in A New Hope, nor in Empire Strikes Back. But she, I don't know, something happened in Return of the Jedi when she whips off her.
They took off all her clothes. That's what happened.
Well, that, by the way, yeah. You know what? When I was like 8, when that movie came out, that didn't mean much to me. You know what I mean? I looked at it. I went, "Oh yeah."
You were 12 when the next one came out.
No.
12 when Jedi.
No, I'm talking about Jedi.
There's a big difference between an 8-year-old and a 12-year-old.
No, but I was 8 when Jedi came. Oh, you were 12, is what you're saying. I see.
No, I thought you were. I thought you said you were 8 when New Hope came out.
No, I was okay. So I was born in 74. So 6 plus 3. I was 9 years old. Yeah, and I actually think I saw it on my 9th birthday. I think I got to see Return of the Jedi on my 9th birthday. But yeah, but yeah, now you look at that and you go, Carrie Fisher was, first of all, she was in wicked good shape. I mean, she was in perfect shape. She was toned. without being hard. She was just, I don't know. She just looked fantastic, half naked.
It's cocaine. It's great.
Yeah. And her face too, when she takes off her helmet and she goes, "Someone who loves you." I'm like, woof. She looks good. She looked good.
Yeah. She looked good. She never looked better.
No, she
did about 10 minutes later.
10 minutes later in the movie. Yeah, that was her. That was the peak of her. Seriously, I always wonder. It's like, do you, Carrie Fisher as an older woman, do you look back on that and go, "Look at me," or is it depressing? What do you think?
Depressing.
I
As
remember.
a woman, it would be sad.
Yeah.
I remember during the roast of William Shatner, Jeffrey Ross was roasting Shatner, and he said, "What is it like to go from a sex symbol in shape sci-fi star that everybody wants to a fat bloated mess?" And then he turns to the audience, instead of William Shatner, he turns to Carrie Fisher in the audience.
Oh.
It was the coolest thing I ever saw.
Mm.
It was really mean.
That's tough, man. That is tough, but yeah. I don't know, guys. I don't know. In any case, yeah, Martina, we got to get her back on here at some point, I guess. I don't know. I mean, she's getting spicy out there. Her Twitter timeline is pretty crazy, and people like it. People like it when Martina's on.
The troll is strong with her.
Yeah, I think that at some point you kind of go, when you're under siege by SJWs, a switch gets flipped, and you finally just your I don't give an F switch kind of goes off, and yeah, you just say whatever you want to say. Who cares?
She pisses him off because she's smart and good looking.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. What do you think? Gail Simone looks at her and goes, "Yeah, that's my sister." Like, burn her at the stake is what she's thinking.
Yeah. But that explains me too, though. You know why they have problems with me?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. It's about time I realized that. Let me read some super chats. People are sending super chats and I ain't reading them. Why not, Cecil? What's wrong with me? Why don't I appreciate the things that are given to me? All right.
You're an ingrate is the word.
I think that's correct. Thunderbird says, "Good day, Uncle E." Good day, Thunderbird. Thanks for being here. TLJ Screwjob says, "How much more can people see Tom and Martha get shot?" That referring to Batman, of course. Like, yeah, the origin of Batman.
I would like to see Uncle Ben walk down that alley at the exact same time and just a whole massacre.
That would be cool. You know what? Like, we should do a comic like the St. Valentine's Day Massacre of murdered comic book parents. Just line them all up at the wall, do it all at once. Uncle Ben, who else? So you've got Uncle Ben, you've got Tom and Martha Wayne. Are there other murdered parents?
Yeah, was it the Devil's father? What's his name again?
Who?
Yeah, the Matt Murdock's father.
Yeah.
And then you have Jonathan Kent. You have Jonathan Kent looking on, and then he has a heart attack.
All of them.
Yeah, he's witnessing the massacre, and
he's just like,
just kill them all at once. Yeah. By the way, yeah, they're asking if Tug fell asleep. I don't even see Tug still in the chat.
No, he left.
He left. Yeah, he left. Tug and Yellow Flash did a live stream last night. Yellow Flash is growing really quick. His channel with Animegate is growing really fast at a rate of about 2,000 subscribers a day. Yeah. And he did a live stream, and I checked in on him. I was working, and he had 1,900 people. He had the same amount as me. 1,900 people watching his live stream, and I said, "I want to come on." And he sent me a link, and I came on, and I quickly realized that it was Yellow Flash, Tug, and 3 other people I didn't know. And Yellow Flash and Tug were drinking hard drinking on a live stream. And I was going to yell at Tug about this eventually.
Show some self-respect, guys.
Yeah, like you guys, I'm telling you right now. Cecil does it as a character, but somebody like Yellow Flash and Tug, you guys can't be drinking on live streams like that. You wake up, what are you going to do?
What was happening? Were they getting a little rambunctious in there or what?
Well, here's the thing. Like, it got so bad that, like, I left. I left at the end of Yellow. They first of all, they attacked Linkara, which was pretty funny, actually. Linkara atop the fourth wall. That guy, he had his own live stream going, and so they brigaded his live stream, and I watched that all go down. Like, they sent Yellow Flash has an army of trolls now, and he sent his trolls, his Yellow Flash trolls, his I Stand with Vic trolls, to brigade Linkara. You guys know who Linkara is?
No, not at all.
Oh my goodness! All right, there's a video that Medicare did on Linkara. Linkara is basically a proto Zack, if without Zack's coolness. Like, think about like a real sad kind of nerd with no social skills at all, who wears the fedora.
Nasser.
No, Nasser's cooler than Linkara.
Really?
Yeah. I can't explain. How do you explain Linkara? But he got caught. Like, I don't know what happened, but he got caught with pornography. The green M&M. Like, he's in love with the green M&M, and he's into chicks with male body parts. Like, that's the kind of porn he's into.
Critias.
Yes. Anyway, it's really embarrassing. But anyway, Linkara goes on, and he's got a big channel. It's like 150,000 people or 170,000 people. But he's an old school. He's from Channel Awesome, and he's old school YouTube, which means he's an idiot and he sucks at what he does. And he was sitting there doing a live stream, and as Yellow Flash's people come in to brigade him, and they were all saying, "I stand with Vic, I stand with Vic," Linkara smirks at them, like with this kind of nerdy kind of I can't even explain it. And he goes, "Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause. I'm going to stop the chat. I'm going to pause, and I'm going to block everybody on the list." And he sits there smirking while he scrolls backwards on his chat. And everyone who posted, "I stand with Vic," block. And then he started the chat again, the live stream. And then more people brigaded him with "I stand with Vic." I'm going to pause the stream again, and I'm going to block everyone who said "I stand." And he did this for 2 hours. 2 hours while we watched him from the Yellow Flash stream. I've never seen anything like it in my life, honestly.
Just destroying your own audience.
Well, he's just like, if awful people come in here, I'm just going to have to deal with them. I'm like, why don't you just quit? Why don't you just fold up or just ignore them, or just turn off the chat and just continue to do what you do? But his entire live stream consisted of him stopping the chat, disabling the chat, and then blocking everyone. And that was the entertainment and it was entertaining in a kind of backwards way. But anyway, so I watched that. They kept drinking, these boys. And then Umbrella Guy, who is 3 sheets to the wind at this point, decides that if I leave, Yellow Flash is going to quit his live stream. He's going to fire one up himself at this point. And then Yellow Flash goes, "Fuck it, I'll come over to yours." And so at that point, I didn't see what went on because I went to bed like somebody who hadn't been drinking. I just went to bed. I got a note in my email this morning from someone. I don't even know if I should say this.
Say it. It's a good idea.
Malin Militia, say it.
Listen to John. He wouldn't steer you wrong.
Yeah,
Not at all.
yeah. John's a good guy. It's good advice.
John knows best.
45 minutes.
Oh my gosh. I get a note in my email from a fan who was just like, "Listen, Ethan, I saw that you were on Yellow Flash's live stream." He said, "I thought Umbrella Guy was smart. Evidently not. These guys should not be drinking all night." Well, I'm gonna try to find the actual. Damn it! I want to read what he said because it was devastating. I'm kind of just damn it. Well, I'm not going to. I'm not going to find what they said. But anyway, the guy just basically said, "Yeah, those guys, they need to be reined in, or do not go on their live stream, or do not have them on their live stream again. These guys drank themselves to idiocy on their live stream." And I can't imagine what it was like. But I mean, I've never gotten a note like that before, ever. I've never heard from a fan reporting on one of you guys. I
did. That was the Comic Cut was complaining about me being drunk.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
People are laughing at you, Cecil.
Did Yellow Flash keep that stream up? Asking for a friend.
I really, I don't know. But yeah, if like I wouldn't go to his, I would just go straight to Umbrella Guy's. But you know, I know that Umbrella Guy takes his streams down, like he doesn't keep them up very long. But you know, I'm kind of curious myself, like what did they do? What did they do that made me get this message from someone? You know, what happened? What exactly happened? What
was it?
I don't know.
Darkstream Part 2.
Is it Darkstream Part 2?
Yeah. This is going to be what undoes Yellow Flash, apparently. Or Tug.
Just drinking on a live stream.
They called NASA a cum dumpster.
Oh, yeah. So that's the thing. With great power comes great responsibility, and you know that's the thing. As Yellow Flash's channel grows, he's going to have to learn that like there are people who are going to kind of look to tear him down, and there are people who are looking to tear him down, and he probably shouldn't be doing that. Umbrella Guy should. I think he can handle his liquor, right? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe he should. Uriah
Wright in stream is correcting me. He said it's the Dark Roast.
Dark Roast, yeah.
Keongley says that Yellow Flash got real heated last night.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's what Keon's saying.
Cylon says Yellow Flash was going off on a redhead SJW he wanted to screw.
Yellow Flash was drinking. He had a few things to say. It wasn't anything.
Pug.
And then
Here we go. Pug, what happened?
Here we go. So yeah, let's bury this thing. Yellow Flash has been terrible. Yellow Flash has been dealing with some issues.
I'm so glad Umbrella Guy came back. Can I just say this is what makes it? Umbrella Guy, are you mad at me for talking about this or no?
No. It's good actually. It's good.
So anyway, so that's what happened, Umbrella Guy. Somebody actually said about you. They said I thought Umbrella Guy was smart. Evidently not. That was the criticism that you received in the email that I got. Now, what happened? Did you take the live stream down?
What do you remember?
Yes, I did take the live stream down.
Okay.
Here's the interesting thing that people don't get sometimes. You get in this weird quandary. Like if I had a guest on and they got out of hand, I might kick them for their own good. Now, do I kick my friends then? Like, how does that respond? What exactly do I do in that situation? So we had a situation where somebody was drunk a lot and said some stuff. Now,
Yellow Flash.
Yes, and he said some things about religion, and he said some things about a certain pro. We actually broke the stream the first time after some stuff came up, and
you want to any of that, or do you want to leave that?
I'm curious. I would probably not. You know, I like all of
Comicsgate Pro.
No, it's talking about an anime voice actor, is what.
Oh, okay. Welcome, Martina Marcotto, by the way. Hello.
Hey.
I don't know if you thought we were talking about you earlier, and we'll get back to you in a second. Right now, we've got something important brewing here with Umbrella Guy and Yellow Flash, who, by the way, might be dead. The way that he was drinking last night on a live stream. Tug, okay, so return to the situation. So you've got a situation. By the way, Tug is here pretending that he was also not 3 sheets to the wind.
Oh, I was very 3 sheets to the wind. See, I'm not dealing with any. I'm not dealing with any. I'm a happy drunk. I actually have a lot of fun when I get drunk, so it's actually pretty fun. You know, I don't have that, and a lot of people do. You know, the thing was that, especially when we got to like the subject of religion, you know, something came up in a stream. Someone brought up something kind of innocuous, but apparently Yellow Flash has been dealing with some tragedy. So when religion came up, he was not a very happy camper about it, and it spun from there. But it was, it really, if anybody watched that, what they should have gotten from it was that a guy is dealing with some issues. He's dealing with some tragedy, loss, and he voiced how, in that he can't see anything good religiously. When people are telling him about God's plan, he can't see that. And I think that anyone that is religious has probably ran across that in their lives. If you've ever suffered loss, if you've seen loss firsthand, you know, especially if you watch someone die, I mean, it's rough. And, you know, as forgiving people, I think people should just look at that. They should say, okay, you know, guy messed up, but that's the same guy. You like him for being blunt. Well, he was being really blunt. He just had a lot of alcohol.
Well, I appreciate that. Like, that's pretty heavy. And I know Yellow Flash has been suffering. I know he had death in the family, but what is this about him wanting to fuck a redhead? SJW? Yeah.
So he was talking earlier. Actually, that's when things were actually in a better mood. He was just talking about one of the voice actors, and he was, you know, his old smasher pass thing. So he was basically doing this smasher pass thing, you know, and he just got a little.
It wasn't Mars Girl, was it?
No. He was talking about Marshy. He was talking about one of the main voice actors there. So, but well, you know, yeah, like I said, was it the most shining moment? No, I think like when drinking, I think I would rather live stream solo. I think that helps me a little bit, or make sure that everybody's just in a good place. You know, I don't really know how to do that. And maybe, I guess going forward, if people get out of hand, like, fuck them, I'll boot them. I don't care who they are, you know, but I mean, that causes its own issues, you know. I can judge it by hindsight. I'll take part of the blame. Hey, I'm the host there. I could have pulled a plug on anybody there. If anybody in the audience got offended by something that was said there, you know, remember the guy, you like him for a specific thing, but you can blame me. I can take it. You know, that's part of being it.
I blame Yellow Flash.
No, I mean, he was my guest, though. I put it that way. He was my guest. So as forgiving people, I would say, you know, the faith thing, I think, made more people mad than anything. And I tried to deviate off of it.
People mad at him that you know of?
Yeah, there's some people that were mad. Yeah, there were.
Really?
But I've gotten messages. I've talked to people. I've told them, you know, again, you know, looking at that, hopefully people can look at the entirety of the issue, see that the guy's dealing with something there, and he's not, you know, he didn't want to hear any there's a better place or anything like that. You see that when people deal with it. I know I watched my dad die. I watched my brother die, and I felt the same way. So
Veal Ned says Tug muted Yellow Flash 5 times at least. Is that true?
Yeah, it is true. Yeah, it is. I did mute him. I put him in the God, we were talking about one of these pros out there. So here's a weird one for you. So one of the anime guys, I cannot say who he is because he will sue me. I know he's a sue happy bastard, but he has a very weird secret. We found a dating profile in the guy, and in it, just imagine this picture. So in it, he has a living room picture. He has a couch, nice plants and stuff, and a cage in the middle of his room with a woman in it.
Yeah.
That's her.
We were talking about that, so I kept sending him back to the cage, and you know, which was okay. But like I said, he was drunk.
A whole other world, man. You guys with your Anime Gate and these voice actors, these people are legitimately famous to their fans. Like, I always thought, whenever I would see Vic at a con, I'd be like, "You're a voice actor, right? Oh, okay, it's cool. Your face isn't on anything. Like, you're okay." Like, that was my attitude towards them, you know. But they're like famous. They're famous people.
Yes, they very much. I mean, they have huge followings, and you know, seeing some of these people, you know, and again, I don't judge anyone for whatever they want to do in their free time. If it's legal, hey, so be it. But you know, it is just very, very interesting to see like the people that are calling hugs assault, and yet you find a dating profile and they have something like that. Mm-hmm. You know, it's weird. But yeah, like I said,
you're coming off a little judgy, Tug.
Yeah, well, you know, I thought if he didn't in the picture put the lamp and the plant on top of the cage, maybe it would have been better. Yeah, but it becomes a living room fixture.
You got to accessorize.
Yeah. All right,
Tug, so I got to go, but Tug, don't worry. I've actually pulled down a stream or two for being too drunk.
I mean, you know, the thing I didn't worry about it as much as you know, like I said, I didn't want anybody looking at that and saying, man, I hate that Yellow Flash guy, you know.
I don't think anyone's saying that. I think everyone's saying you guys got drunk on a live stream and acted up, and that does happen, but it's you know, it's I don't know.
Guys, I'm gonna say goodbye and hello, Martina.
Oh, bye.
I'm sorry I missed you. I want to hear about your Harvey Weinstein, Jennifer Lawrence stuff, but I have to go to dinner. I will watch it later. Bye, everyone. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. Thanks, Cecil. Thanks for being here. Cecil is a benefit wherever he goes. Cecil is awesome. I appreciate that he kind of comes on this show. Martina,
What's up?
now I will say this, Martina. I didn't know. I mean, when I saw that this was getting the kind of reaction that it was. First of all, I didn't know you were a troll. I didn't know, but you are. And you're pretty good at it because people are mad about this.
Dude, people are so mad. I didn't even know either that it was really that serious. So the thing is, like on Instagram, I like post memes on Instagram, and I don't really take it to Twitter that often. But this one, I was like, oh, you know, a friend of mine, he DMs me the stuff that he photoshops, and like I did one, like I posted one that he did that was like same thing. It was like a movie poster, but I had like the abortion Democrat people, and it was like really like funny, if I could say that about abortion, but it was just making it seem so like accepted, and then like epic, and like, you know, this great thing, and it was funny. And so he had this one, and I was like, oh, cool, this is a good one, because, you know, the Oscars just happened, and The Star is Born, like what is it? What's that? The Lady Gaga movie, is it called The Star is Born? I don't know. So it was like, oh, okay, I get it. It's cool. It's like a little play going on with Weinstein and Oscars and The Star is Born and all that. And so I just like posted it on Twitter. I was like, oh, this will cross over to Twitter pretty well, you know? So I posted it on Twitter. But holy crap, Twitter works totally differently than Instagram does. Because on Instagram, it's like pretty much just everyone that follows me is like, haha, oh, awesome, this is epic. Oh, this is like fire, you know? And then on Twitter, people can see it that you don't really expect will see it. And oh my God, there's like so many Jennifer Lawrence like fan accounts that are furious at me, like being really nasty. And I was like, how are these people seeing this? Like, what is going on? These fan accounts.
Is one of those fan accounts, Ethan?
Oh, Jennifer Lawrence fan account? No, I don't like Jennifer Lawrence. I really don't. I find her to be, she's another Brie Larson. These actresses who take themselves way too seriously, and I really don't. I never thought she was that. I think I saw her in something that I thought she was pretty good in, but for the most part, yeah, the Hunger Games stuff was garbage, and I don't think she's that great. But she's the whole world of Hollywood worships her as though she were like the second coming of Meryl Streep or something. Maybe she is. I don't know, but I never thought she was that great.
Yeah, so I sent it to the guy that made it. I said, oh man, it's getting kind of wild on Twitter. I can show you some of the responses, but I even get DMs where people are telling me that I'm like, you know, I don't want to swear, but like the C word, C-U-N-T, and like, you know, giving me like middle finger things and all sorts of stuff. And I'm just like, what's going on? And then I realized I'm getting all these fan accounts that are really upset. And I was like, oh, okay. And he's just said, it's not really targeted towards Jennifer Lawrence. It's just Hollywood in general. And it's just playing off of that, you know, concept of Hollywood with the Weinstein and how they kind of play with each other to get ahead. And, you know, he wants sexual activity and these girls want fame, and that's kind of what it's about. So, you
know, I was under the impression that he probably, as a powerful mogul, probably got his way. I mean, you know, you can look that way, and if you have that kind of power to change people's lives and make them movie stars, you can probably get whatever you want out of women. But then I heard that tape of him arguing in the hotel with that one woman. Did you hear him like, come on, just please, just come up to my room, just please, just for a minute, and then you can go. Come on, you're making me look dumb here. Can you please come up? Like begging this woman. Did you hear that?
Wow, I didn't hear that. No, but I know about like the plant.
I would have gone up. Just gonna put that out there.
Well, I mean, many women would. I don't know what actress he was talking to about that, but that's kind of what this is about. Is that it like he had that power, and I mean, I understand like I listen, I've done modeling and acting and stuff like that, and I've been young and wanted, you know, to get ahead and whatever, and I've felt pressure in situations where I was very uncomfortable, and it is a horrible situation, but I think there's just something going on with Hollywood where like these women also kind of play into letting that like they use their sexuality for, you know, to get ahead themselves. And if they really had such a problem with it, then like, why did they only speak up after it's like blown out in the headlines, you know? It's like,
yeah, I think this has been going on since Hollywood first began. I don't think there's anything new that's going on here. I think it's just people are finally waking up to it and they don't like it. You know, the idea that sex for favors happens in Hollywood. Who's surprised by that?
right.
But people, but I don't know. I guess at some point women are kind of just saying, look, it's happening and I don't appreciate it, or it's I'm being pressured to do this. I wasn't aware this is the way Hollywood worked. Sex is currency. You know, I want to put a stop to it. I think it's a good thing. I think the Me Too movement in cases like Harvey Weinstein is awesome.
Right.
In cases like
Right.
Kevin Spacey, where these guys have so much power over people. You know, it's like you have to explain this sometimes to people who don't really get it. And I hate to sound like a liberal here, but I am kind of a liberal when it comes to this. Power differentials when it comes to relationships like this. When your boss comes to you and asks you for a kiss, well, I could just walk out of the room and you could just leave, couldn't you? You can't. He's your boss.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he could
Yeah.
ruin your life. There's all, and even if like the woman gives in and just gives him a kiss, and you know, it's consensual. It can't be consensual. Really, you're not quite sure that like she didn't feel like she had to do it, you know, to keep her job. And so big guys like Harvey Weinstein are bullies. That's why it pays to be like extremely attractive and not powerful like me. You know, I mean, at that point, you know that the woman you're with is with you for you.
Right. No, and I think that's exactly, and like I said, trust me, I've been in situations where it was like that, and I'm not a millionaire. I didn't get to be like on the big screen or anything like that. And it's like, I've been in situations where it was like pressure. It was horrible. And it is a horrible feeling. So it's not so much about her. It's just about Hollywood. You know what I mean? So I understand. I sympathize with that concept a bit. And that is also, again, where Me Too kind of worked for in our favor. If I say our, as in like conservative,
Women.
I guess.
Or conservative.
Where, yeah, and for the conservative, kind of light on like, things and stuff that's going on and liberal Hollywood and stuff like that. It's really exposing them. Really, you know, they want to go after Kavanaugh or whatever, but it's really exposing them and pointing a light at their own people. So I think that's really what this was about. I mean, I didn't really take it so much about Jennifer Lawrence herself. It was just generally about Hollywood. It's about Weinstein and how he functions and works. But I'm just surprised by all of her diehard fans, how like offended they are by it. And like, and I see it and I get it. And I'm like, oh, oops, but like that's not what I meant.
You don't think of them that way. You don't think she has diehard fans that want to protect her, but
yeah,
yeah. I'm running into the same thing, just criticizing. By the way, hi Edwin, great to see you.
Hey Ethan, good to see you.
Thanks for joining us. We got 2,100 people watching right now. It's pretty good.
It's very
well, didn't she think of this as a joke? Like when you put this up, I mean, isn't this supposed to be on some level like tongue in cheek and humorous? The Star is Born.
True. I mean, that's the problem.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
true.
Yeah.
The funniest jokes are true.
Yeah, that's not.
But again, it was less so much about Jennifer Lawrence. It was more of a statement on Harvey and Hollywood in general. So I was surprised, just like Ethan is. I mean, I think it's like the Brie Larson stuff and whatever. It's like, oh, there's like crazy diehard fans that are dedicated to her. Like, oops.
Yeah, like the Captain Marvel fans, there are entire Captain Marvel fan accounts that are like, we're coming to put you off of that. We're going to platform you for criticizing Captain Marvel. You're like, there's got to be something behind this. Like, there's got to be some sort of energy behind this, some sort of sponsorship behind a Captain Marvel, a group of Captain Marvel fan accounts that would mobilize to get criticism, critics to platforms. But then again,
did the movie even come out? Yeah, I don't know. People are weird, but yeah, did it come out yet?
Next week.
No. Okay.
Well, they want to protect their interests.
Yeah, but it's not their interest. Like, you know, I would understand if Disney did that in a way. I mean, it'd be great if Disney did try to deplatform me. Oh my God. If I could prove that, that would be fantastic. But no, it's just these fans, like, what, they want you to shut up, making fun of the thing that they like. It's a little childish. It's a little weird.
That's
I don't
true.
get it.
Yeah. Especially when they have a whole account that's dedicated to that person. And you're like, really?
Yeah, you haven't seen the movie yet. But what if the movie sucks? You haven't seen it. I don't know. I don't get it. Edwin, how are you today anyway? What's going on?
I'm doing good, man. I was just listening to that bit about Yellow Flash.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking, I'm fairly religious, and I tend to wear my faith on my sleeve.
You do?
And Yellow Flash has always been my friend. And sometimes if you're deeply sensitive or serious about your faith, and when you hear someone speaking very strongly, people can get upset by that. But loss and grief are powerful forces, and they take people to dark places. And I would just ask everybody to be as charitable to Yellow Flash as you can be, because Yellow Flash has really stood up for a lot of people in this community and had people come at him hard. And particularly if you're like me, if you're a Christian and you take your faith seriously, it extends some of that love. It extends some of that love and charity that was shown us by our Creator, and extend that to Yellow Flash. We shouldn't be angry.
Though I want to toss him a beating because I love him, and he, Edwin, the guys. Here's the thing about Yellow Flash, and I understand everything he's going through. I understand his pain, but like, his channel is blowing up right now, and he is spearheading this campaign, this I Stand With Vic campaign. A lot of people are looking at him and looking to tear him down.
And so you want him to act more responsible.
If you love Yellow Flash, you need to throw him a beating like a big brother would and get him in line and make him realize what his responsibilities are. You can't go get absolutely S-faced, because I'm not going to curse, Edwin, not in your presence. The S word. I'll spell it S-H-I, that word. You don't get S-faced on a Twitter live stream that's about what's going on in AnimeGate, and then just give your foes all kinds of ammo against you, or make people think that you're not steady, that you're not a rock. You got to do your best. So his channel is blown up. He's going to be at 100,000 subscribers probably in 2 months, I would say.
Wow.
And he's making, if you look at his Social Blade, he's earning $200,000 a year on his channel right now. That's big money. It's a lot more than probably he was expecting to be making at this point. He needs to protect himself, and we need to protect him from himself, if possible.
And he does, and he's a compelling dude, and part of that is his fury and his passion. It's just, dude, I don't know that I've ever had too many friends, and the world is so ready. The world is so ready to beat people down and chew people up for any reason.
Not me.
Yeah. Maybe we can maybe behind the scenes we take them to the side and say, "Hey, dude, you've got something amazing. You've got an amazing opportunity here. Please don't waste it." But I'm not going to jump out in public and beat the man down or disavow the man down.
We don't do that, Edwin. You know that. We're just teasing him. I mean, that's kind of what we do. George says, Ethan, how accurate is Social Blade? It's underplayed. Go to the highest end of that, and then that's slightly less than what the truth is. Believe me, his videos are doing great, and he's getting all kinds of ad revenue. And why am I acting soy-based today? People are saying I'm soy-based.
You're not soy, but you couldn't be soy. Oh, but dude, you're the who's that weirdo? Wendig. Yeah. I always thought you were exaggerating that impersonation. I went and found some video. of him the other day. You're actually charitable to him. I did not realize a human being like not doing a performance could actually sound like that.
You said that, yeah. He is Chuck Wendig is part of the problem. Martina. People want me to talk to Martina, so she gets on the screen a little bit more. Hold on, I'll talk and I'll put the screen on Martina. Everyone,
that's a good choice.
Yeah. Look at Martina. She's like, what the hell, Martina? All right, so Chuck Wendig probably caused more trouble than for Marvel Comics than we're even letting on. And Chuck Wendig, you know, acting like a clown at a point when Disney is reevaluating the value of Marvel Comics and whether they still want to publish Marvel Comics. You know, maybe not. You know, somebody like Chuck Wendig telling everyone to eat a boot covered in the S word that I mentioned before, Edwin. And then, you know, basically calling people F-necks and rapists and wretched abusers. I'm trying to remember. Somebody took his whole tweet rampage and put it to the tune of My Favorite Things by Julie Andrews. And it was so good. It's like rapists and something and wretched abusers. It was so great, dude. It was awesome. In any case, like probably the fact that Chuck Wendig did all that publicly and got all of that attention from the mainstream media. I mean, people like Stephen King's son were commenting on Chuck Wendig. I mean, trying to be supportive of him and stuff. But Disney and Marvel don't want that kind of attention. They don't want negative attention. So the idea that perhaps Disney is going to be dumping Marvel Comics, Chuck Wendig, a boot covered in
You just probably need to say it, man. Just say it.
I won't
be biting it back.
Edwin, it's like talking to a monk. I wouldn't do that. I would not. You know,
shirt-faced.
Yeah, you're the Dalai Lama. I would never say the S word to the Dalai Lama. I mean, you know, Nasser would.
Shiny face.
Yeah.
I probably would.
I'll take the camera off. Poor Martina now. Sorry, Martina, but the chat, you know how
you
it
can
is.
put the camera on me if you want.
No, nobody's asking for that, Nasser.
Get Miller in here.
I'm asking.
Put the camera on his feet.
No, I want it on Nasser. What does Nasser even look like? And I think Nasser is doesn't like me.
Nasser, you don't like Martina?
No comment.
See?
Nasser, will you put your camera on so we can see you and the your ungodly face? Actually, it is a godly face. You're a very handsome young man. Everyone loves Nasser.
Yeah, works out.
Okay, here you go.
Look at that.
I told you. Look at him. He's awesome. He's like a combination of Ernie and Bert. You know, it's like he's like their kid. I'm so happy to see your face, Nasser. People are saying Nasser lost subs. People are asking if you're gay.
No,
you're not. You're not.
Straight as an arrow.
I'm sorry, John. I still have to do a review of your book, by the way, which is excellent. I got
somebody said soy face. Do I have soy face?
They're calling me soy base today too. They're doing it deliberately. People are saying that you're handsome, Nasser.
Oh well, thanks.
He could be in a boy band. You know, be like weird kind of weird Canadian boy band, but you'd be in a
Menudo.
Yeah, the bad kid. You could be the bad kid, Nasser.
I just need to give him a makeover, fix his hair.
His hair.
Give him an outfit.
Well,
no, he's got great hair.
Done right now.
Yeah, exactly. He's got great hair. It's just.
What would you do with it?
He doesn't comb it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just groom him. That's all I would do.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, groom.
Ethan's already grooming me.
Oh no!
That's why Nasser just earned his place. Nasser,
you just had your Me Too moment, Nasser.
That was awesome.
Right.
Little
Hashtag Me
Caesar.
Too. By the way, can we promote my Indiegogo a little bit?
Yeah. Okay, Nasser, we'll do that. So go ahead, put it up there, and I'm gonna find it. What's it called?
It's called Trixie Kane Blood Reaper.
Oh my God! What the hell's wrong with you?
What?
Let me see.
What?
That's an 8-hour show.
Yeah, it's just Trixie Indiegogo. Oh, here it is. Trixie Kane Blood Reaper on Indiegogo. Look at it. What are you doing, Nasser? Why do you have a smiling woman covered in blood?
Because she's having a good time right here.
He's living his fantasy.
Is this a fantasy of yours?
No.
Then why is it a comic book that you're making? Do you know what I mean?
Well, wait, I'm lost now.
I'm just gonna put back Nasser here into the description.
Question mark.
Question mark. Yeah. Do you want it back, Nasser? Here, I'll put Lady Alchemy in here too. That's gonna get done. And I'll put Lady Alchemy in here unironically, as SJW say. I actually mean for people to back Lady Alchemy. By the way, Martina, I saw you on. A lot of people sent you my way. You were on Alex Jones.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that's okay with people, but I just figure, everyone wanted to talk about the Chase thing, and that connects with my Indiegogo thing. And I figure since I have the spotlight for a minute, I can just talk about Comicsgate and let people know what's going on with that. So I don't know. I hope that's all right.
It wasn't, because you did not drop my name, but you did drop Tim Lim's name. And
Whoa.
What?
Oh shit! No, the only reason why I did that was because
I don't see you on. You're not.
He sells Tim Lim's book. Okay. Well, next time I go on, I'll go full on. Be like,
I appreciate it. It's
By the way, well, and I just didn't want to like blow up one spot. I don't know if it's like you don't want to get involved with that stuff.
Just be sure to refer to Ethan as Ethan Scriver. He loves.
Oh my God. Who did that recently? Somebody did that, and it was like, Sargon of Akkad.
Okay, yeah, I've been talking to Sargon about Comicsgate too, so I'll let him know that he fucked up that name. But I've been spreading it around to all these like people. But again, I especially with what's her face, the blue-haired girl. I've been like a little like I don't know. I don't want to like step on toes. I don't want to overstep my boundaries, so I never really know where to go. But if you have my blessing, I'll spread your name around directly.
Well, I mean, yeah, absolutely. Okay. I'd love to be mentioned on Alex Jones's show. He doesn't listen anyway.
Just mention Doug Tnaple.
Yeah, do mention or don't mention Doug.
Do. Yeah, just let Doug be the leader of Comicsgate. I think Doug would be a great spokesperson.
I do,
especially with his pink hair. And his
leader.
Oh my God!
Leader / fall guy.
Yeah,
he's 6'8", Ethan. How tall are you?
6 foot.
Yeah.
So he's taller than me, but I'm for it. I want him to be the target. What? Again, like The Sopranos, Dom Casey in the chat. Like The Sopranos, Tony Soprano put Junior Soprano as the head of the family to make him the target for the FBI. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So in any case, we want to support Nasser here a little bit. Let's go through this, Nasser. I know you're waiting to talk about Trixie Kane, Blood Reaper.
Yes,
Trixie Kane, Blood Reaper, from the team that brought you Stardust. Be careful when fighting monsters; you might become one. You want to talk about this a little bit?
Yeah, Ethan, this is a story about if we could ever be too far set into our beliefs, if we could ever be too far gone. Trixie's dad was a monster hunter, and when she was just a little girl, her mother got killed because of it, because monsters, hunting them is not a 9-to-5 job. It follows you around. So all because of her dad, her mother got killed, so she resents him for it. She hates him. And she grows up, and when the book starts, her father has been captured by vampires, and we see if she hates him so much that she's not going to save him, or is there any hope for him? Does she have any love for him left that she will help him when he's been captured by vampires?
What can I ask? Why she's hunting? Why is she hunting monsters? Is she hunting them for sport? Is she eating them? Why is she hunting monsters?
Mostly for sport. Like, she's sort of followed in his footsteps, but
what a bitch. What a bitch.
Well, here's the thing: is that the vampires or Blood Reapers, they're thought to be extinct, and they've suddenly been coming back. So she's been hunting them, following in her dad's footsteps and hunting them down. And then after a little bit, she gets word that the Blood Reapers have actually captured her dad. And then it's a really big decision for her. Does she help him or not?
So Daddy she has to become her dad in
Daddy
essence.
Issues.
Well, it looks good, Nasser. You are at 50% of goal. Let me show you something aspirational. Lady Alchemy by Martina Markota is at 315% of goal. Now, Lady Alchemy by Martina Markota is, you know, a Comicsgate project that's been going for a little while now. It is in demand. It's already clearly met its goal, but people do still have, for a little while longer, they still have a chance to back and support Lady Alchemy, get a copy of the book. Martina, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a dramatized and fantastical version of my early career in New York City, being a burlesque performer. But I become like, you know how we talk about the politics involved in the comics. It's not so direct as the SJW. So there's like a hint of it if you really look through it. It's kind of like the movie They Live. So it's like there's you know, you can see beyond like the advertisements and the propaganda that's pumped through into the city, and everyone is kind of brainwashed by it. And I'm able to like see beyond the veil and see what's really going on and who's behind these kind of programmings and the relationship between nature and the city. And then there's like these weird alternate universes where kind of you go into the past a little bit as well in it. So, you know, it's kind of like that.
The Unmitigated Wall says, you had me at, well. So he's going to back this project. I wonder if anybody's going to back Trixie Kane. Let's go back and check real quick. Are people supportive of Nasser? Do people want to back his project and bring it to? No, they don't. They don't want to.
I'm going to back Nasser's project just so he hates me less.
Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, it has a John Malin cover too, so there's always that.
Yes, the sexy John Malin cover, Malin Militia. And if we hit our $30,000 stretch goal, Kyle freaking Ritter is going to color it.
He's jumping ship.
I'm not happy about that. I'll have a talk with him about that. I'm going to say part of the thing, part of our thing is that you're not allowed to work with Nasser.
Good going, Nasser. You just got Kyle in trouble.
Yeah. Like
word is Kyle Ritter gets around, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
Yeah, Lady Alchemy by Martina Markota. Obviously, this book is pretty hot. Oh, look, people are supporting Lady Alchemy right now. It just jumped up a little bit. It's pretty hot. People do still have a chance to get a copy of this book. Also, the perks are really cool. You can get a nice Lady Alchemy t-shirt. You can get a deck of tarot cards. And again, I'm mystified by tarot cards, but it's got all the artwork. It's got artwork, original artwork by Maz G, who is the artist of Lady Alchemy and probably one of the coolest and hippest. Everyone loves Maz G. I haven't had him on the show yet. I'm just lazy.
Yeah, you know, he's been dying to talk to you and get on the show. I think you guys are really, yeah.
We'd become best friends.
Like I said, he's the one that's behind he works with the Faction. So yeah, the Faction has actually produced my stickers. They printed out my stickers and the posters. And the Factions are the one that did the NPC billboards and the Trump Star, multiplying Trump Star stickers and stuff like that. So all the people that are kind of printing and doing this stuff and the artwork we're all kind of like the same circle of like political scene. So it's kind of cool. We're supporting each other in all this.
Yeah, it is cool. People in the chat are saying, let's get Lady Alchemy to $40,000. You know, that would basically, if they get Lady Alchemy to $40,000 from here, that's pretty much the exact amount of money that Nasser would need to be funded. So, Nasser, how does that make you feel that people have all this energy to...
You're going to make him hate me more.
I'm just kidding. All right, so Nasser's Trixie Kane, Blood Reaper. It looks pretty cool. It's Nasser's second project, and he still hasn't jumped at all. Nobody's, but he did fulfill Stardust, which makes him better than me. I have not finished Cyberfrog yet, and he is already on his second book. Nasser, how does it feel to be that much better than me? That you have fulfilled your first Indiegogo campaign, and you're already rounding second base on your second one.
Well, I'm not better than Ethan, but it's awesome to put out these books. Like even just a year ago, I didn't think I'd be able to raise this much money for comics. I had people doubting me when I said I wanted to. Like a year ago, I said, "What if I put out a Kickstarter and asked for $1,000 goal?" And some people were like, "Are you sure you could get that much?" And this was just a year ago.
Were you sure? And you did it though. You did, like, what did you get? You ended up getting like 20 grand or something.
16.
16. Good job. Yeah, we'll get you there again, pal. I believe in Trixie Kane, Blood Reaper, and Nasser Rabadi. You're amazing. I have energy to actually support this. You know, I believe in it. There are other people who come at me with books about giant sharks, and I'm not really sure about them. You know, it's like I mouth words of support, but it's like I don't know. I'm not feeling it. But this I'm feeling, Nasser. I'm feeling it, and I know you can do it. Lady Alchemy also is the other project that we are supporting and talking about tonight, because we've got Martina here who put herself at great personal risk to make fun of Jennifer Lawrence, and I really appreciate that. You know,
it had to be done.
It had to be done. Somebody had to do it, and Martina was brave enough in this. She just jumped forward again. She's at 36,741, 3641.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, people seem to like this project. They believe in it. They also think that Jennifer Lawrence is a weirdo and her fans are nuts. And those people all want to support Lady Alchemy and Martina Markota. And so they're coming out. They are coming out in force to do so.
Yeah, her fans are nuts. But some people may have actually already received some shirts. The shirts have been sent out. So we're getting the perks out as we can. I got the posters printed, so they'll be out next, and then I have to do the silkscreen posters, and so we're slowly getting them out, and the book will be the last thing.
You are doing a great job. Is the book finished yet? Make me feel better.
It's not 100% finished.
Right,
no, I got to get on Monza's ass, but
I swear to God, it's not easy. I'm laboring over my book. I'm laboring over it, and it's just like every time I go, no, I still got to do this. I got to put this in there. I got to put that in there. I want the book to be good, Martina. I don't want to let people down.
Yeah, it's got to be good. So good things take time. So let it happen.
The pages that you've been posting, Ethan, they're out of the park, man. They're stellar. They are so good. I can't wait to get my book.
How was this inspiration?
Thank you. I just want this book to not insult my audience. I want this book to be something that will last forever, something that's going to be important, because as the comic book industry dies.
I'm sorry, man. I'm having a hard time with this.
As the comic book industry dies, and we put it in its grave, and we stand over the funeral, picture Art Bear with a handful of dirt, sprinkling it on the coffin. It's a worm's eye view, not looking up at Art as he drops, dirt onto the. We all have to do something. We have to build great comics to relaunch, to reignite the fire in comic book fans or future comic book fans. I don't know. I'm not sure if Nasser is doing enough, but he's doing something, and that's more than can be said. That's more than can be said for Critias, who's not doing anything. Or Edwin. Edwin's not doing anything either.
NASA represents the Comicsgate model.
What is the Comicsgate model?
To deliver on time.
Yes. No, wait.
Well, I'm kidding myself because Detective Dead is going to be late too, because I missed, I had to add an extra 32 pages to the book, so it's delaying the artwork.
One thing I'm going to do with Rainbow Brute is I'm going to say, the estimated delivery date is the year 3000. So suck it. That way nobody will ever be able to say I'm late again. And I'm going to get it on time. I'll get it in early. People will be like, "Oh my God, he said it wasn't going to come out for 800 years, and it's already here." Ethan is something else.
I wish I would have known John Malin before we launched our Indiegogo, because he said, whatever you think you can do, artists are always overly optimistic with deadlines and what they can do. And he said, always pad it by 2 months beyond what you think you can do. And that is great advice, my friend. If anybody's listening and thinking of launching one of these things, that's what they should do.
Yeah.
Minimum 2 months. Padded by 2 months.
I actually have a Cyber Frog question for you, Ethan.
Yes, sir.
Are you keeping high quality scans of the pre-colored images?
Of course, yeah, I have to. They're all on my computer, but you have to send the high quality scans over to Kyle for Kyle to color.
Have you thought about when you do Rainbow Brute, or when you do a second offering like a maybe an oversized book of just the uncolored pages? Reason I asked this, I was talking to Mitch the other day, and he was kind of noodling around about doing an art book himself, And I'd forgotten that like these works, these high quality works, actually kind of act as references and instruction manuals too, in a way, from somebody who's ready for it, ready to receive it. You know, having something that shows off your line work in a high level of detail is something that an aspiring artist could actually learn from. And, you know, published maybe in a hardcover format, there might be a lot of people that would scoop that up.
Well, I'm going to do that, Edwin. I think that's a good idea. A lot of people had that idea. So once Cyberfrog is done, you know, we are going to run an Indiegogo campaign for a black and white Masters edition of Cyberfrog Blood Honey. That's going to have everything all together. It's going to be without color. It's going to have the ash can in it. It's going to have everything all in black and white, just the line art, all the sketches, all the weird stuff that didn't see print. Yeah, I think that's the right thing to do. I think, again, I want to show Edwin, I know that you're a Christian. Yes. Is it okay for me to have this impulse to want to bring our enemies to despair? Is that
in Psalms, they're actually imprecatory prayers where David, the first king of Israel, and essentially the high priest at the time, prayed for the shame, humiliation, and destruction of God. Prayed to God to destroy his enemies. So no. I mean, there's a time and a place for it.
I mean, well, the Bible does say, right, like, not to celebrate when your enemies fall, but he didn't say, you know, it's not okay to ask the Lord to help you against your enemies.
Yeah.
I like it. You know, I'm so mad at these people, the way they treat us. I have to admit, you know, I have bad feelings in my heart, but I have good feelings in my heart about Lady Alchemy, which is now at 36,863.
Wow.
Awesome, but also Trixie Kane just jumped up $400 for Nasser, $5,411.
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah, people do love you. Probably Martina gave that to you, to be honest with you. She's sitting there being kind of like, and that is a bribe for you to be nice to her from now on, obviously.
Yeah, Nasser.
I am nice.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
I don't know anymore.
Mike Miller put up earlier that Nasser hates women. Is that true, Nasser?
Of course it's true. I'm Comicsgate. We have to hate women.
Wait a minute. I married a woman. And I love her.
Too bad, Art. It's us or her.
You've been hurt in the past, haven't you?
A few too many times.
Ethan, you know how you were talking about a black and white book, which, by the way, I would love and buy. Did you see Sean Gordon Murphy's black and white Tokyo Ghost? It was like 11 by 17 size. Have you talked or thought about format for Cyberfrog, the black and white edition?
I'm willing to hear ideas because I want it to be special. I want it to be cool, and I want people to want it. So I'm the big oversized books. I think Dynamite does some of those. Dynamite.
Those things are awesome.
W does them. Yeah. Well, maybe I don't know. We'll get to it. I want to finish the book up. It's very important to me. And in that spirit, I'm going to read some super chats. I know you guys love this part. I got to read.
Really like it.
I look forward to them every day.
John, thank you. John has the spirit of Comicsgate. John's never said anything to annoy anyone. Everything he says is right.
Yeah,
and high tea.
And high tea. He is
love to hear the excitement from the fans.
Absolutely.
All right, Malin Militia.
Josh the Animator, the amazing animator, said Wanpool reached its goal in 23 hours. Another CG victory. Hopefully we can keep it going and help Troy overcome his bout of homelessness.
Yes.
What?
Man, that book looks awesome.
Who's homeless?
Mr. Marvel.
Mr. Marvel actually finished one of his Wanpool books while he was living in his car. He went through like a rough patch in his life. He's got himself righted now. But he went through really like an existential crisis. Yeah.
The guy, Mr. Marvel. I thought Nasser was talking about somebody from Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
Mr. Marvel is okay. So he drew that book while homeless.
Pretty much.
How do we get him on? How do we help him?
Just invite him on. He's a full-time tattoo artist, great artist. I mean, and he honed his artwork doing tattoos. But I'm sure he'd love to come on.
Is he Comicsgate or does he hate me?
He's Comicsgate.
He thanked Comicsgate. He knows he's not Comicsgate, but he's quick to thank the people in Comicsgate.
All right, okay. Tell me he's invited. I mean, you know. Chris Clark, thanks for £10. Says, Uncle Ethan, did you watch the film where the white savior Brie Larson finds love in India and teaches the people how to make rice properly? Is that I've seen the movie. I want to see the movie itself. I've heard of it, but if Brie Larson teaches the people of India how to make rice properly, I might laugh until I die. Gee, I wonder who that film was made for. It's called Basmati Blues. The white savior Brie Larson. God, life is good. Kay Brady says, Joe is going from the guy who saved Marvel to the guy that let it fail. If it falls, then that's his legacy, so he will do anything to avoid it. Black Russian Bot says, when the heart breaks, it don't break even. Professor Geek said, ever considered writing an autobiography, Uncle E? I've ghostwritten bios for way less interesting people. I don't think that's possible, but I think about writing a book about Comicsgate, me and Zach together. We'd have to write it together, and maybe we will. Achura77 said, so where did the skydiver land? In quotes. Well, he was in the Middle East. He was teaching people over in Dubai, and his chute failed to open 3,000 feet above the ground, and he hit the ground, and that was it for him. He lived for like, I don't know, a few seconds. He actually said a few words. I don't know what they were, but yeah, it was tragic.
That sucks. I wouldn't want to be alive to land, and I don't want to be alive, not even 50 seconds.
The irony of it was this guy, I'd spoken to him, and he just said, skydiving is safer. I said, you're going to die. It's crazy. Why do you do this? You're tempting fate. And he said, it's safer than driving. Or it's safer than being in the plane, is what he said. And it's like 2 months later, he was dead. Black Angus Review says, EVS, have a Brie Larson video that was blocked for hate speech. Do you have an email to send it to for pointers for hate-free edit to then upload?
Take out the hate.
What the hell happened, dude? What happened? Scipio says, you can send it to my email. Just saw an old high council where EVS pledged to lounge in a bathtub full of Ticos at 70K subscribers. Looks at subscriber count. Ahem.
I got to do it.
Yeah, I could do it. I have enough Ticos right now. You guys are sending them here, big time. Well Hung and Dunk says, Nasser, Aurora Snow, or Rocco Siffredi?
I don't know what that means.
Aurora Snow's a porn star. I know that. And I don't know much about porn, but I know that. I've heard the name.
Sisu mentioned two names earlier to pick one, and Nasser picked a man.
Yeah.
A male porn star over a female.
No, I didn't know who it was, and the girl's name that he put in the super chat was Riley, and I was like, well, I know her Riley, and she's an idiot, so the dude, I guess, I didn't know who it was. The dude just said this person or this person. I didn't even know what it meant.
Stop.
Harris,
stop. Stop.
Harris said, how do you know, EVS? I read an article once, and it was like, I think it was a what's that awful website that wrote a hit piece about us and writes hit pieces about everybody? BuzzFeed article that was like porno stars that look like real celebrities. So if like you're looking for a real celebrity, you could. And I actually read that article, and I remember the name Aurora Snow, and thought it was a cool name. The Rubber Band Man says, will Brie be recast if she does below 500 million? No. They just won't make another movie, but yeah, it's too late. And honestly, I like this rumor about Avengers having two separate endings, depending on how well the Captain Marvel movie does. We'll see. I mean, this is an important thing, guys. Captain Marvel, finding out this weekend is game day, finding out exactly how well this movie does. I cannot wait. I can't wait. Either like, well, I really hope it doesn't do that well. I'm hoping that we're right. We have a pool going right now. I have it's going to do $85 million. We have a $10 pool. Edwin, what do you have?
I think I came in at 70. I've got to check my notes. I've got them over here. Let's see.
I went from 97.
I have 103.
I've got 75 to 80. Ethan, you took 85 to 90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put me down 120.
You have a success. You think it's going to be a big success at 120.
No, I think that's what it has to do, bare minimum, to be even considered a success.
Look, I've done the math on this, Ethan, and tell me if this makes sense. In order to do 120 million, between 3.4 and 3.8% of America has to walk into a theater next weekend and pull a ticket for Captain Marvel. Does that sound likely?
I don't know.
I mean, I just wonder how much that campaign and how much they're pushing for it. What was that? The campaign for the little girls to go watch it and stuff. Like, how much superficial campaigning do they do that'll inflate sales?
Well, there's that. I don't think that can do too much. I don't think
exactly.
it's going to have too much of an effect. But it was mostly just like a goodwill thing. Like, look at us, we really care. And like on the red carpet, they had a little girl that was dressed like Captain Marvel for Brie Larson to kneel down in front of for the cameras and go, "Oh, aren't you sweet? You're gonna grow up to be just like me, are you?" A raging. Okay. But yeah, like how it does this weekend, that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be making videos all week about it because it's going to get crazier and crazier the closer this movie's opening gets. And they were expecting 150 million. They're settling for 100 million to be a success, even though it will not be a success if it's 100 million.
Wonder Woman made 103.
Yeah. But I mean, Wonder Woman was a really, really good movie that people went back to see. It's word of mouth. My feeling is that probably people are going to go see it opening weekend, and second weekend's going to be a massive drop off, just like Solo was.
I agree.
So, they need to do really well opening weekend. So I'm saying 85, but they're hoping for 100. I think they were initially projecting 180 million.
I think you might be the closest out of everybody. I think it's going to make around 80.
I could be completely wrong, dude. It could do great, and we could. But see, the thing about it is you have to use your common sense. These people are banking on making this movie super important to one specific demographic while pissing off everyone else. So that doesn't seem like good business to me. They shouldn't be saying this is. They're hoping that every woman and every little girl will go see this movie. What these dummies forget is that most movies are dates. If most people go to movies on a date, it's a guy and a girl. And, me and my woman, we're going to the movies. What do you want to see, babe? I don't know, Captain Marvel? No, another one. Pick another one.
Battle Angel.
It's going to happen all over the country, all over the world. So, it's stupid. It was just stupid. Rubber Band Man says, okay, I got that one. Achura says, hey, Mike, look at and then he posts a picture of a chicken. But the chicken... a rooster, and a rooster is also known as a cock. Marvel fan, thanks for $10. When Al Ewing doesn't insert contemporary SJW political talking points, Immortal Hulk is great. Do they not get it, or can they not help themselves? If they would only focus on the character and story, they can't help themselves. They feel free to do whatever they want. That's my opinion. Ebob Jr. says, I asked Joe Quesada if he hired a PR firm to attack people, and he said that's the most insane thing he's ever heard. Then I said, I guess he doesn't read his writer and artist Twitter feeds. Good for you, Ebob. Malcolm from the North says, looks like Handyman got a new sidekick in AOC. Gotcha Son said, why do her hands look like Uncle E's unclipped feet? By the way, I love you, Cecil. I was late to this stream because I was watching your upload from earlier. Thunderbird says humble can also mean low to the ground. Mike D says, EVS, will you care if a humble man from Louisiana makes a comic? Will I care? I'll be very supportive of you. White Wolf says, EVS, would you please invite Razor Fist on one day? Razor Fist is a pretty big name. I don't know if he wants to come on my show. If he does, he can come on. I think he's pretty good. Mike D says, fans do care. Zaid Comic says, gotta run to a date, y'all. EVS, I emailed you about ideas for the meetup for Star Wars Celebration for fans. Also, back Trixie Kane on Indiegogo, peeps. Mike D says, fans just want good art and story. This drama is crap. Brennan Pitts says, Drink and Draw did not send their best. Well-read user 1 says, just got Jawbreakers and Lone Star. Great times for Comicsgate. Yeah, I hope you got Graveyard Shift, too. By the way, John, your book is the best out of everyone so far.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Best presentation. I'm enjoying reading it. I had to put a bookmark in it. I have no time to sit and read, but I'm going to review it ASAP.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah. Mike D says, make the new wizard print. Fans want print, not drama. Make a real story. Make a story real and connect with people. It's not hard. What's the wizard print? What is that? Make the new wizard print. Do you mean Wizard Magazine?
Yeah, I guess that's what I was trying to say.
Mike D says, can you send me the comic that I paid over $100 for? Thanks. And he gives me $10. Now you paid $110, Mike, for me to say I'm working on it, pal. I really am. It's coming. Mark C says, never led anyone astray. Didn't John convince Mike to draw on that Waringo original?
I don't know what that guy's talking about.
John.
Deny.
John, why did you do that to Mike?
Mike made up his mind. He's an adult.
Yeah, you're right about
I'm Gandalf. I just gave Bilbo a little push out the door.
John is doing polite. He's washing his hands in a bowl of water.
Oh my gosh. Practice Smile says, just want to drop this for you, Uncle E. Thanks for $10. He says, keep on fighting the SJWs. You're appreciated. And then he gives me a little smiley face and a heart. Thanks. I think it's a he. It might be a girl. I'm not sure. Mike D says, I want my comic. No drama. Well, you're going to get both, Mike. Drama happens in Comicsgate. We talk about it. And part of what we do is YouTube entertainment. It's part of keeping the family together. Billy the Max says, tell Cecil to share the Slave Lawrence X Jabba pick. Slave Lawrence X Jabba pick. Cecil's gone, but I'll ask him about it. Steve Mallon, another $2. Thank you very much. Mike D again, $10. I want the comic you guys promised. I got 0. What comic are you talking about, Mike? If you're talking about, if you're still in here, you're paying me an awful lot of money to say I want the comic. It's coming. It's coming, Mike. You have to believe me. Penny Wisdom 1983 says, you have my permission to go to Atlantic City, but you have to live stream the whole thing. Malin, where can I buy Graveyard Shift? Hail Comicsgate.
Next campaign will probably be launching in about 3 months. And we will have a offering. I'm not sure exactly what form, but it will allow for volume 1.
Nice. Mark C says, holy crap, Anna, that Star Wars girl got 20K subs in 8 days. Yeah, she's really good. Her channel's great. Subscribe to that Star Wars girl. She's got good stuff going on. Mike D again, $2. I want my comic in all caps. I'm just going to read all Mike D's super chat in a row. Mike D goes, no drama. Send me that comic. It's not hard. And then he says, I just want the comic I paid $100 for. Mike D says, I just want what I paid for. And then another $5. I want all my money returned. I got 0 comics for you guys. Mike, what comics did you order? I think I'm the only one who hasn't shipped out the comic yet.
Yeah, Jawbreakers is delivering. Graveyard Shift is delivering. Lone Star is delivering. All of Nasser's books, I'm sorry, Stardust has delivered. Brutus the Badass, I think, is coming close to it. So
it's Mike D. People are saying Mike D is infamous. Mike D, if you're a real person, email me. But you just gave me like $300 in super chats to yell at me to get your $100 back. It's a deal, pal.
He wants that refunded too.
He's not getting that refunded. He
no,
said,
I think he's trolling EVS.
Well, then why is he paying me to troll? He could just do this for free. You feel bad about it. You're allowed to say, I want my comic, you bastard. You don't have to pay me to say that. I want my comics or the money back. All right, that's Mike D's effort. Mike, if you would like a refund and you're a real person who did back Cyberfrog, do send me an email with your number and your PayPal address, and I will absolutely refund your money. Penny Wisdom says you have. Oh, I read that one. Hold on, let me catch up now. I just had to skip ahead and read all Mike D's. Jam Create says I posted my review of Lone Star on my channel and got my first Twitter hater. I think I finally made it. Still only 104 subs though. Comicsgate rules. Well, everyone go subscribe to Jam Creates and watch his review of Lone Star. Jesse Miller at the Crow's Nest says, Hail Caesar, I'm trying to build a channel and could use a shout out. It's my name and I need subs. All right, so subscribe to Jesse Miller at the Crow's Nest. Let's see. Stalin Falcon says, don't say they. Yellow Flash was super blitzed and he crossed lines. Tug shut down the stream. He wasn't drinking. Tug admitted to drinking. I don't know. Archer7 says, got great. I can't believe I got like 4 copies of it. And what's this other booklet, John, that I got?
With Graveyard Shift? That would probably be the Ashcan. That's by Nerd Wonder. And I think that's her first printed sequential work, too.
Okay, it's like 4 pages, but it's like comic book sized. Is it bigger than 4 pages?
That's probably the original print of our preview book. Yeah, so it was a limited thing that we put out at PhillyCon in like 2010, I think. So that's the first appearance of anything dealing with Graveyard Shift.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to have it. Mellow East says Tug is cool. Lay off. Guys will be guys. You have to understand where we're coming from. We're doing it for his own best interest. Mark C says, what was up with Yellow Flash hitting on Mecha Random? Dude, she's cool, but LGBTQ, question mark. I don't know if she is or not. Mark C says, Tug, Mars Girl was in your chat last night. Penny Wisdom says, hail Martina. Did you invent the hashtag GothRight Twitter tag? What inspired that? It's brilliant. Much love.
Yeah, I founded that. Everyone was like, it was just like Goths for Trump or something, but I was like, GothRight.
Okay.
Yeah. And ArtRight. I mean, it's like ArtRight, GothRight.
That'll drive them nuts. They'll be like, your finger just slipped. You meant to say alt-right.
Yeah, I know. That's why it was a little taboo when I was like at the collar, because it was like too close to alt-right. And I was like, yeah, but it's ArtRight. Like,
Yeah.
we're allowed to have the word right. Like, right? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what their problem is. I think everybody should just, in general, just ignore the left at this
that's
point.
what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's so many people like in the media and stuff. We go, oh, what will the left think? What will the left think? I'm like, you give the left power when you tiptoe around what you think they're gonna think. Just tell them like, fuck off.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
No, you're exactly right. Mark C says Martina should do another meme using Bryan Singer situation. Hollywood has a huge pedo problem.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the media went after me as a Pete Skater for me talking about any of this stuff, but Hollywood's really bad. There's a lot of documentaries, really fascinating documentaries about Singer and all sorts of Hollywood pedo stuff.
It's called An Open Secret, and it's a really good documentary that people should watch. It's very disturbing. It's for free. You can watch it on YouTube. It's called An Open
Yeah, I saw on
Secret.
YouTube.
Yeah. Process Black says, Ethan, I loved your drawing Harvey Weinstein video. The narration was perfect. Now the sketch hangs on the wall of my studio as a piece of performance art. It's quite the conversation starter. That's awesome. Paul Contreras says, hey, Martina, Tim Pool mentioned you the other day.
Yeah. So Tim Pool is also someone that I talked to, and he he brought up the Bounding into Comics article about Chase that, of course, they mentioned Comicsgate and all that stuff. So Tim Pool's been talking about Comicsgate as well. So that's exciting. More people. Yeah.
Mike Angerhauser. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Tim's cool. He's a good guy. I don't know if you...
Yeah. People all tell me, like, you should get Tim on your show. I'm like, you guys, do you understand? I'm a very small YouTuber. I mean, I'm huge, but I'm very small compared to these guys. Tim Pool has like 1 million subscribers. These guys they've been doing this much longer. They don't want to come on my show. Not yet, but soon they will. Soon they all will. Mike Angerhauser says, Black Forest is back today, seizure free and healthy. Good. Mark C says Joe Q responded to the Disney canceling Marvel Comics on Twitter. What did he say? Cesario JPN says, if Disney Marvel hate bad attention, why haven't they fired Brie Larson for her attitude in this whole Captain Marvel shit show we've been seeing lately? Cicipio says, God understands if you get angry at him in times of great loss. God's appearance at the end of the book of Job is a great study on this. What was that about, Edwin? What did God do at the end of Job? I didn't finish Job.
At the end of Job, where he absolutely takes Job to task for questioning him, because he's like, who are you? You know, were you there when I laid the foundation of the world, when I hooked Leviathan, when I set the stars in their firmament? Were you there, little man? But at the end, because of Job's perseverance, he blesses Job with, Job was a rich man before all this beset him. But at the end, because of Job's perseverance, he rewards Job with even more.
God was kind of mean to Job, you know, just to play with Satan. Like, does that story bother you at all? That like God is messing around with Satan, like Satan saying, "Hey, why don't you screw with this guy that really likes you?" And God's like, "You want me to?"
Satan was roaming the earth, and then God said, "Have you observed my servant Job? He's a righteous man." And then Satan said, "Well, I bet you take away everything from him, you know, he'll curse you to your face," and that's why that started.
That's exactly right. Like,
God wanted to prove that Job wouldn't do that.
you know, God is sitting there listening to Satan and going, yeah, all right, you want to bet me that I can't beat down my guy and he's gonna doesn't that bother you?
No, because now today we can sit here and read through and read that beautiful language. I mean, if you read Job in the King James, it is beautiful poetry if you actually sit down and read it. But we also get some moral lessons from it, that here we are talking about it probably almost 3,000 years after the book of Job was written, maybe 2,500 years after it was written, and we can extract moral lessons from that, and that is an amazing thing.
All right, I'll accept that. Chura77 says Nasser concerns me. Software X says Martina's cool people. Fox Mulder, $50, thank you, says I really enjoyed your interview on Andrew Klavan's show a while back. Has he expressed any interest in having you return for an update? No, not really. We're kind of in touch with everybody. I'm starting to notice that more and more kind of bigger and bigger conservatives have been subscribing to me or following me on Twitter and stuff, and I'm getting some messages from some of them, which is great for me. I am a political person and would love to be a part of that kind of thing, even though I'm just Comicsgate. I would love to be on Andrew Klavan. I'd love to hang out with Ben Shapiro on his show. We'll see what happens. I'm patient. Scipio says, God berates Job's friends for giving bad advice to a grieving friend, but praises Job despite angry monologues. Magaman says, EVS, you need to get in cahoots with Alex Jones. He has hundreds of secret cabals. Yeah, I would be on Alex Jones too. Nobody comes to me. I mean, Alex Jones is going to come to me. He's going to come to Martina. Granting, Martina is a better, better presence, I think.
Well, they like to have me on. They're always asking me to come on. So, we'll get that momentum going towards Comicsgate and you. So
I hope so. I would like that kind of thing to happen. By the way, good chance Jordan Peterson's coming on this show.
What?
Yeah, nice. which should be pretty cool. He said he's got an hour and he will come on the show. And we're going to talk about Comicsgate and all that stuff with
tell him I loved him on Deadwood as Wild Bill.
All right. Grand Inquisitor says, I'm going to buy Lady Alchemy when I get paid Friday. What Chase Bank is doing is wrong. Supposedly they restored Laura Loomer's account. Rhino4563 says, I back Nasser just for the Kick Nasser sticker.
Thanks.
Professor Geek says, back my campaign, Tales from the Stacks on Indiegogo with a variant cover by John Malin and Kyle Ritter. Hey, that's great, John.
Yeah.
Malin Militia.
Tales from the Stacks, everyone. It's Professor Geek. He's a good friend of all the Comicsgate community. So please go support him. And get my cover. Don't get that degenerate Kyung Lee's cover. Get my cover.
By the way, Kyung Lee just answered next. He said, Battle Maiden Knuckle Bomb is in demand, but also check out Oodles of Doodles by Art Taber. Art, promote your book.
Hey, thank you, Kyung. I have an art book right now. It's in the black and white shop on Indiegogo. And it's a 52-page color book, and it compiles 35 years of a comic professional's career. So I have covers in there, working drawings, commissions, some toy designs, packaging I've done, and there's a preview of 3 new future projects, and one of them is black and white. So there's some stuff in there that is not on any of my Indiegogo stuff. So yeah, it's in the shop now, and it's limited. So there's only 200 of them. So they're going to be signed and numbered, the last 200. And I think we've sold almost 100 now, and most of the print tiers are sold out. So thank you guys so much. And there is a black and white Oodles tier as well. So if you want to get the black and white book and the Oodles book, you can do it with that tier. Also, thanks for giving me this time, Ethan, is we have the good thing about the art book right now is it's done. It's printed. I have it in storage right now. So I have 200 of those books that I can start shipping now. So the reason I did that is to try to keep the lights on here at Hack Shack Studios to give me a little bit more time to finish Black and White Volume 1. So thanks, guys, for the support, and thanks, EVS, for giving me the opportunity.
It's my pleasure, Art. Shinobi1979. Hello, Andrew. Nice to see you. Thank you for Shinobi asked if he could sculpt Cyberfrog. I was like, yes, please. It's like those guys, sculptors. I'm in awe of them. I'm happy to see stuff like that. D loves all things says EVS first attempt failed. Please support kid-friendly Hero Book 1 on Indiegogo. Their YouTube channel is Misfits Corner Comics. Thank you. Days of Clarity says back Lady Alchemy and got the cards for my mom. That's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, Jam Create says how to draw comics the CG way when. I think that would be like a John Malin, Mike Miller project. I would do it with all my, that'd be okay.
Did you hear that Mike was sending out bits of his hair with his Lone Star campaign?
That's disgusting. Why?
I heard people are getting 2-foot strands of long black hair with their comic.
I totally believe that. That is disgusting. And
He got from his head.
ew.
He's like the Beatles, man. He's Paul McCartney.
Ugh.
Sending hair.
Mellow E says Malin has all the answers. Malin is the way.
Whoa.
Who do you think somebody will clone Mike now with the hair?
No, I don't.
Frame.
Do some witchcraft with the hair. I'm kidding.
Ooh, get the tarot cards.
No, that's interesting, Martina. We can talk about that. We could do a live stream and cast a spell on Mike with his hair. That would work. Mark C says Cyberfrog Black and White should be like an artist edition, so bigger one. Bogus Fortune says if you do a hardback Cyberfrog of Black and White inks, it can be the Cyberfrog project you deliver on time. Thank you, Bogus. You're so right. It's already done. The work's already done. Yeah, and believe me, I have thought about that. Time Code Mechanics. Hey, Nathan says, hey, Ethan, my schlock 90s martial art action horror film Transit is live on my channel. I hope all the CG peeps check it out. It's feature length. So Time Code Mechanics, he just did a movie called Transit. Go check it out. Penny Wisdom 1983 says, I bet Brie Larson has huge BO, and I don't mean box office. Yeah, her feet are something else, dude.
Her nails are terrible.
Oh, my God. Leo Kuhn says Alita is a date movie. Lycan645 says, off topic, I just got back from a seance-like thing, and don't tell Mike. Ha ha ha. Mike McLaughlin says, here's an idea. In reaction to Captain Marvel, let's crowdfund a Lady Alchemy movie. We know Martina would love to portray the character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm a real-life superhero, so,
I want to be in it. I want to be a cabbie or something. I just want to walk on roll, Jason Green says it won't do good overseas. China hates SJWs. Artura 77 says Captain Marvel will be $83 to $86 million with a 75 to 80% drop off. Well, I would win the bet pretty much if that were true. White Wolf says Razor says he'd come on if invited. Loves your stuff. Oh wow! All right, well I'll get in touch with Razor Fest. I like that guy. Cyborg Patriot says please don't forget Alita Scan. Love you. Hail Caesar. Oh, I won't. MGTOW Michigander says SJWs are an irrelevant burr under our saddles. Blacklist Universe, that's Mike, who should not be online right now. He should be worshiping the Lord with his family. Says, my Captain Marvel review video is going viral. Kurt Koos says, can I buy Mike's copy of Cyberfrog? Yeah, I don't know if he's real or not. People are telling me he was just joking. I hope so, because he just spent a lot of money on Super Chats. Timecode Mechanic says, hey, Nasser, I got you when I get paid. Mattaween said, thanks for $10, by the way. Says, do you think DC is keeping a lid on Captain Marvel type SJW buzz regarding Wonder Woman 1984, or is it just a culture at Disney? I don't know. Wonder Woman 1984 is going to be so good, though. I really can't wait. Dragon Fate, thanks for $25. Says, I will watch Alita before Captain Scrambles, so I will give you the money to an awesome cause like your channel than the SJW cause. That's very good of you. Thank you. Gimp Rider 66 says, read 12 rules before maps of meaning. Yeah, Jordan Peterson wrote to me and said he wants me to illustrate maps of meaning. But I don't know. He says stuff like that, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And then he just doesn't get back to me. Achura 77 says, if I get hair with my Lone Star, I will burn both. Yeah, I don't blame you. That is really, really foul. That's disgusting, Mike.
Yeah. Get a picture of it and send it to me if anyone gets it.
Yeah. By the way, Lady Alchemy is now $41 away from $37,000.
Wow. Thank you guys so much. It's amazing.
And Trixie Kane Blood Reaper is now at $5,704, Nasser.
Nice.
So you did get a lot of support here. You're getting closer to your $10,000 goal.
Thank you so much, everybody. Couldn't do it without you.
Get the John Malin cover.
Yes, John Malin cover. And like we said, At 30 grand, this sexy John Malin variant cover from the best artist in the history of artists. We'll have Kyle Ritter color it at 30 grand.
I like it. That sounds like a good deal to me. And all these people are getting these John Malin covers, and they're all looking pretty good. I mean, I like the Flying Sparks cover. I thought that was great.
Yeah,
John is satisfaction guaranteed.
Yeah, she's looking fine.
All right, with that, I think I'm going to close up tonight and get back to work. The stream was a lot of fun, a little longer than I meant it to be, but you know that is how it is when we do a Comicsgate show. Blacklist Universe gives me $2. She says themegcomic.com. Praise the Lord. Mike is Edwin. Can you talk to him? He doesn't listen to me. He listens to you. But I mean, Mike is so blasphemous lately. What can you do about it?
Yeah. Okay. All right. On Miller, on this one, I'm gonna agree. If
it's about time.
If you can't come on the stream because it's a Sabbath, then you can't come in the chat. And anything in between is just kind of equivocating. So I got to take you to task on this.
Yeah, we're on that line.
With that said, please go take a look at the Meg comic. I'm not that excited about the Meg part, but there is this. He's got a story in there called The Six Gun Samurai, and that thing is great. That thing is great. It's a period piece with this kid who's a samurai and kind of a duelist, I guess, is the easiest way to say it, and it's a neat story. So please go take a look at that.
Nicholas Barreau says for $5, when do you think we'll see a Captain Marvel Rose Tico crossover? Also, which planet would you want to live on? Naboo, Kashyyyk, or Coruscant? I like Coruscant. It actually looks like high-tech Detroit. I'd rather live there. I'd really rather live on Tatooine and get into gambling debt with Jabba the Hutt. That's my dream. And I would too. All right, everyone.
Pod racing.
Yeah, I would definitely be a pod racer. Yeah. All right. Thanks everyone for being here. Appreciate everyone in the chat, and I appreciate everyone on my panel. Thank you guys for joining me and making this fun. And I'll see you again tomorrow.
Thanks everyone.
All right. Good night.